Good evening and welcome to Behind Closed Doors with Alan Merritt. Special guest tonight, I've got Smithy, good lad, good campaigner, and no holds bars, and the lovely, my right-hand man, Sue Peak, a Beechholme survivor. And thank you guys for joining us tonight. And this festive edition, I suppose you could call it that. And here's me with me little, look, can you see me little Santa coming out the top there? Wouldn't come out too much Santa, it's a bit of a shithole at the moment. A bit of a shit stick at the moment. So anyway, I asked Bob to come on because he's a brilliant campaigner and he's brilliant on the streets, and he does such a fantastic job. Every time I see him, he makes, not only does he make me laugh, he not only does he make me laugh, he does some good stories and covers a lot of aspects. So yeah, brilliant guy, brilliant campaigner. And don't take no shit from the Met place either.
Part of
I'm going to ask you that, really. Bob. I was going to ask you about, do you know when there was a geezer that was filming you and he said, oh, it's fucking hell, it's Smithy. Someone's got nicked. He said they got him up against fucking, you was at, where was you? HQ for...
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates offices or something. And somebody shouted out, fuck me, it's Smithy.
They sent the TSG in for me, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. I see that. They're bastards, they are.
Yeah.
Absolute, but I can't stand the TSG. They don't give a shit. They go in heavy-handed. They're almost like, I don't know, they're so trained to do what they do. They just kick fuck out of you and ask questions afterwards.
Yeah, but on that case, they've actually fucked up because when they arrested me, it took me to Brixton station. Didn't fingerprint me or nothing, but they've issued me with a 10 grand fine. But they've not fingerprinted me, so you can't prove it was me. So that's another story what I'm going to bring up with them. So I'm still waiting for this fine to come through the post.
Yeah, well, you won't be able, so you could get away with that anyway because you didn't consent to nothing. Everything they did, you didn't consent to. You have to consent for them to make it lawful.
Yeah.
And they didn't do none of that, mate. So you even under the guidance of normal law, whether it's normal law, common law, or any law, what they did to you was totally unlawful. And getting it to stand. And I think actually they've done something else wrong because I think Piers Corbyn got nicked in a similar space to what you did, and he was I think it was at Kensington. Was it? No, it was I think that Kensington is no, Westminster Magistrates Court.
Yeah.
And he got done within 6 weeks of being arrested the first time, I think in Hyde Park, Speaker's Corner.
No, he got arrested. He got arrested when we was at Trafalgar Square.
He was always getting nicked. He got nicked about 3 times, but I think over a period of about 2 months, he got nicked 3 times.
Yeah.
One of them was within 6 months.
Yep.
Hey Smithy, someone saying hi to you from the chat room.
Oh, here comes the real sad.
Yeah, that was Manchester Colin was saying, "Well, hey, it's Smithy. You know my Manchester Colin?"
Yeah, he knows Manchester. And then
sure
we're going to be joined by our Scottish hero, Sandy Smith.
Yep, Sandy just got here, so he's in the room. I've also got
join us in a second. I'll
Alan,
tell you a little bit about Sandy. He's a great
hang on, Alan. I've just got to tell you quickly. The ladies aren't on after you tonight. They're taking a week off, so
are they?
You can go. You can chat as long as you want tonight. There's no curfew.
I'll see what the guys want to do. You've got to remember, before we go anywhere, my missus slipped the other night in the bathroom about 4 o'clock in the morning, and she got fucked up by the NHS donkeys years ago, and they misdiagnosed her, and they gave her a load of radiator treatment that they didn't need because they told her she didn't have cancer, although they was treating her for cancer. So what they did, they ended up telling her she had cancer of the parotid gland. And then after that, they said the cancer had gone to her thyroid. They gave her another lot of cancer, kept making these masks for her. She said that was a horrible thing to go through, lying there and have this mould put on your face and moulded around your boat. And then they said the cancer had gone to her throat, and they gave another lot of radiation, and they put a peg into her because she was nil by mouth and had to go peg fed. And 2 years after that, she's still peg fed, and they turned around and said, we misdiagnosed you. It's not cancer.
Terrible.
Fucking well bad. So we weren't, unfortunately, we weren't one of them people that were standing out there on a Thursday evening clapping the NHS because of what they'd done to my wife. Because she's been to Hailsham, the Royal Hailsham Hospital. It's a university hospital, so it's quite a good one. And they even tried to put a wire stent like they do for your stents down her throat, but they couldn't do it. It was too narrow. She can't even swallow her own saliva, so she can never have the luxury like Sue is now, a cup of tea or coffee. And it's not your fault, Sue, don't worry.
Oh, thanks, Alex. You're so kind.
No, I'm just saying that she can't even have that luxury. She can't have the luxury. She doesn't know what it's like us taking it for granted. Smithy and me and Sandy, nice to have a pint, nice to have a drink or whatever, nice to have a tea or coffee or fish and chips on a Friday, whatever the case might be, that's all been taken away. And they couldn't do anything with her because the skin's literally just gone like leather. And they can't cut her skin because it will never heal because of the damage that's been done. So she's going to be peg fed for the rest of her life. And she goes through about a box of tissues a day. And then because of the radiation damage they did to her, it done something to her neck and fucked her neck up as well. So we tried a physio and all that, and then that didn't work. We tried everything, like a little massager, a heat thing that you put around your neck. And it's all part of what happened to her. And then they said, well, yes, you've got a bit of osteoporosis and you've got a curvature of the spine because she's like curled up like that because of her neck. And they gave her an infusion, an osteoporosis infusion at the hospital. Poor man, that fucked her up as well. She couldn't walk for 6 weeks. She was, and she fell one day, and she was right next to me, and she fell, and I didn't know what to do. And I had done my back in. I don't know, I was doing something. I can't remember what I was doing, but I'd done my back, and I was trying to lift her, and the agony in my back was bad enough. But you got to do it for Kathy. You know, it's all about Kat. So I managed to get her in, and anyway, she's slowly get better. Then she picked up a tummy bug because her immune system's completely shot. So she hasn't been out of the house for over a year because if she goes out and does catch, we've always said all along, right, we've always said that we're not saying there ain't nothing out there. There's probably some serious flu out there or a really, really strong dose of cold or flu, right? Because it's even been put down. And sometimes they say, well, take paracetamol. What the fuck? And then they tell you they take paracetamol 1 minute and then a vaccine the next minute, which is all bollocks because they send out the new strains out. So what's the point of having a fucking vaccine? It's stupid. It's all fucking bollocks. Complete and utter bollocks. So her immune system's shot, so she ain't been out for a year. So she's been a prisoner. So imagine what that's been like for families, for children, and for grandparents, and for people going to visit the elderly in are in homes and things like that. And we've seen some videos and stuff. Like Bob puts all these videos on YouTube and Facebook and all that. And he does a fucking brilliant job because there's a great betrayal of the life that we actually live nowadays and the tyranny that's fucking hitting our streets and the way that the police are treating us all. And I invited Bob on tonight because I want to ask him some things and he can tell us a few about his friends. And he's just been bombarded by a fucking £2 fine, wasn't it, Bob?
Yeah. Yeah, 10 grand fine.
10 grand?
Yeah, I got off for 5.
How do they fucking expect you to pay 10 grand fine?
I don't know. Because I led everyone to Bill Gates' office, they reckon I was the organiser. Loads of bollocks. But we'll see what happens.
I don't think it can be proven.
No.
I mean, how can you go to was it a magistrate's court?
I haven't even been magistrate's court yet.
Yeah,
They took me to Brixton police station. They're fining me 10 grand. I'm waiting for the fine to come through.
Well, where are they going to do that? They can't do it in magistrate's court because the magistrate's court hasn't got the power to do that type of thing. It's got to go before.
It's unlawful. It's unlawful.
Yeah. Well, we know it's unlawful, but they won't be able to do it anyway.
Off me being outside talking about the truth. There's no victim of that, so it don't stand anyway.
No, it doesn't. Well, who did you hurt? Who did you injure? Who was the injured party? There was no crime committed because there was no injured party. You have to have an injured party for it to be a
apart
crime.
from a police officer, apart from a police officer, when I was saying, what, you imagine this was your mum locked away in a home. You're proud of doing this. I hope your mum's happy. And they didn't like me saying that.
You are good at it,
It
though.
gets on your nerves.
You don't realise how good you are and how you come across, and you try to make humour of everything. But I tell you what, you've got some front. I tell you, you've got some front because you fuck them right off, don't you?
Yeah, you got to laugh at them. Well, once they've beaten you, you're used to it. What's a baton in the end to it? Just go and carry on.
Yeah, was that one of your mates that got the baton over his head and split his head open?
Yeah, little Marlo.
I didn't you see that, Sandy?
Yeah.
Did you see when that guy got a whack over the head? And his head was pouring, and he was holding. Was it his top or a jumper, or somebody gave him something to put around his head?
Yeah, a jumper. Yeah.
A jumper. He was holding a jumper on his head to take all the blood up. And Bob was saying to the fucking old Bill, because the old Bill came in, he said, "You ain't fucking paramedics," and you know, like. And he said, "Get a
each one of them about 30 officers.
Yeah, and it was surrounded.
They arrested him and his girlfriend in the end before he went to hospital with COVID regulations.
Well, they done the harm to him, so they committed harm to him. So he should be able to sue them fuckers anyway.
Yeah, complaints gone in for that anyway.
Yeah, I see it, been following that and watching it, and I think me and you have made a couple of comments on it anyway. And I was asking you stuff on him, so I've been following what you've been doing and that. And you've done follow-ups today. It's always strange because there was quite a lot of people filming that day, and it was weird when I said, "Oh, fucking hell, Smithy, he's got fucking done." And because I'm always watching, when I'm watching you, I'm always watching Jackie putting up remarks and stuff like that. Go Smithy, and all that. She's really encourages her. And if she knew he was on tonight, or she knows you're on tonight, she might even pop in because she's got a lot of respect for you. And but I want to tell you a little bit about Sandy as well, because Sandy is a survivor like me and Sue. Me and Sue were in Beechholme Children's Home, which was in Banstead, Surrey, and you know South London anyway, so you probably know Sutton, Malden, and all that area. And well, we was in a kids' home, big kids' home in Beechholme, and me and Sue have known each other since we were children from the kids' home. And Sandy was in a children's home in the Bridge of Weir called Quarriers. And that was very, very abusive. And Sandy went through some horrific. And I don't know if you saw one of my videos I did, Bob, was the Beast of the Bell Tower.
Yep.
That was Sandy's place where Sandy was, and a very horrific. And some of the stuff that Sandy and Jane have spoken about is similar to what we went through in the beatings and what they used to do, the sitting on us and the punching and the kicking and slapping and the carbolic soap in the eyes and in the mouth and touching you up in the bathroom in the dormitories and stuff like that. I will say, and I've always said this, I never suffered it as bad as Sandy did, because Sandy had a horrific upbringing. You know, and when I was with Sandy, that Simon was going around Quarries, it brought me to tears. But I try to stay strong and not show. You do that to another survivor. If you show a sign of weakness, it's not good for another survivor, because you've got to try. Sue is very strong. Sue. Well, the only time Sue cried was when we was at Nottingham. When I was doing a speech at Nottingham with all the veterans. Sue, you broke down, didn't you? I was quite surprised at you, because that's not.
Yeah. But I was just going to say about the COVID thing with the police. My son-in-law's in a care home.
Yeah.
And he had been isolated for 2 weeks so that he could come home for Christmas. And he had the test and he was cleared. My daughter's a care manager in a care home. She was clear. The day she was going to get him, the police phoned her up and said, "You're not allowed to get him." So my daughter said, "Why?" He said, "It's against the law." She said, "It ain't a law, it's a guideline."
Yeah.
So she went down to the home, waiting for the police. They didn't turn up, so she said, "Get my husband." So they brought her out, and the care home said, "Well, the police will be round tonight." They still haven't been round there. You know,
makes you laugh because I was watching Parliament Square, and I think that was maybe one of the last ones Bob did. Did you do Parliament Square last week, the other week?
Monday, yeah, last Monday.
Yeah, that's right. And that was fucking bad because the police were very bad then. And I think it was the same day I saw a hell of a lot of women getting nicked, and that's the first time I've seen that. They seemed to pick on the women for some reason, and there was a hell of a lot of women that got nicked that day. Because I think they went from Parliament Square up
That
White.
was Saturday, I think.
Yeah,
I
and
think
then it
that
was one on Monday.
They were aiming for Save Our Children, Eddie Clark. Because where she's done quite a lot, there's a description of a lady, and they was targeting every lady who actually looked like her for some reason. So
yeah, I was wondering what that was all about, Bob, because see it, and I thought it seems to be a lot of women being nicked. Whether they're trying to, I was getting the feeling whether they was coming back to the old routine or trying to treat women as the weaker sex. So if they fucking got on them and picked on them, they might turn around and say, "Well, we stay at home."
Yeah,
I don't know if it was psychological or what it was. Sorry, Sandy.
sorry, we were talking about that the other day there. And the reason is if they seem to be picking, we don't get anything like that up here, but down south, they're picking on the women just now and the elderly. And they reckon that this will get a reaction off the men, so they'll do something.
Yeah.
Come in really heavy. It's sick. It's unbelievable the things I see when I watch the rallies and stuff down south. And I was like, Jesus Christ, what the hell's happening here?
But have you seen any of Bob's? I've sent you a couple of Bob's because I was trying to get you to.
Watch there, yeah.
And I've sent you some stuff of Bob's to show you. He's got some fucking kahunas to do what he does because it's like he's got no fucking. And I was trying to, and Ian know this as well from the old football days because he's a fucking supporter like me, and he remembers the intercity mobs and all that when we used to always have rows and Barneys and fucking shit like that, and West Ham, fucking Chelsea, Tottenham, and you name it, and it was always fucking round down the Seven Sisters Road or whether you went to West Ham's ground or fucking wherever Millwall or where it was, and when we used to be a bit of lads, and they used to do a thing, and I've said this. People talk about this kettling. It's not new. They used to do it in the football, right? They used to do it to us. They used to kettle us down into twos, and then they used to fucking nick us to get us down from a big group into a smaller group. And so we used to say that's nothing new. And probably Bob will back me up on that.
yeah. Well, the way how they're trying to do it now, they've got so many units to move in. It's like on Saturday, as we moved in, they put the horses in first, and then there was just units and units of TSG just coming in. It was just like, it's just for people with children, it's just scaremonger and all that bully tactics. I think that's
this is what it's all been though. It's been like the government's been doing this fear factor, and this fear factor has worked on the fucking believers. The people that are wearing these fucking nappies and stuff nowadays, it's fucking worked on them because they're fucking frightened to death. They're all scared shitless, and it's a terrible thing to do right on top of fucking Christmas. And if it was, it's kind of like blood on their hands for what they've done. Because don't forget, you've got to remember they started this fucking shit where people were catching some sort of flu epidemic, which we know it's not as bad as Spanish flu, which killed 55 million people across the world. But it's fucking bad enough that if you've got an outlined illness, you're probably prone like Kath to catch something, and it's killed a lot of people with underlying illnesses, respiratory or something like that, because of what it attacks.
Exactly.
But it just fucking the way they've handled it is so bad.
Well, I was sent something today about the Nightingale Hospital in London.
Yeah.
It does not exist now. It's disappeared. So I'm going to go actually down there tomorrow and actually do some filming to find out where it is actually gone. Where's all the beds gone? All the equipment. Where's all that gone?
£200 million they spent. I don't know if I'm right, Bob. Just correct me if I'm wrong. 200 million, I think they spent on them Nightingale hospitals, and I don't think the XL had fucking more than 10 patients, did it? Or if it had any
No.
at all?
No, 10 patients the most. Yeah.
What a load of
And there was,
bollocks.
what,
So
20,000 beds there or
they
something?
spent all that money, and then they said they ain't got the staff to resource it. Well, what the fuck they spend 200 million pounds on it for? And what about all these contracts that they're fucking going to PM's fucking business partners and friends?
Yeah.
It's all fucking bollocks.
£2 billion worth gone missing from
Yeah.
this COVID hoax as well, which is unaccountable. So
It adds up to a lot more than that when you talk about the contracts that have gone up to these fucking things. Let's just pull one out. These fucking things, I got them because of Kath. And if I go out, I'm not saying that there is something out there. I'm not saying there isn't. But what I'm saying is, I don't think it's going to fucking kill people like they're telling you. And when they're turning around and saying, the way they say it, it's all scaremongering. It's all fear, putting the fear of fucking God into people and making it out to be so bad. Are you trying to say something, Sue? Sorry, mate. You're muted, Sue. You're muted.
It's funny, my daughter got tested today and she was found to have COVID. But me and Jean went down the beach today, just along the promenade, and it was packed. Hardly anyone had any masks on, and it was completely packed out. I didn't think I thought we'd have a few down there, but it was, wasn't it, Jean?
Jean there, Bob. Jean's, how old are you, Jean?
Nearly 80.
Nearly 80 years of age. And what we used to do, Bob, we used to go on the first Wednesday of every month to Parliament Square. And do you know where they've done the new gates for them to fucking drive in, and they used to drive in for the underground car park and that?
Yeah.
And where Boris is fucking going in, and who was it? John Peakey jumped on the car, didn't he? Yeah, I got a video of him jumping on the fucking motor. And yeah, we used to stand just to the right of that, didn't we? So they used to make a little area of it, and we used to go there every Wednesday, the first Wednesday of each month. And Jean, at nearly 80 years of age, come out and supported us because she's a Beechholme survivor from the 50s.
wow.
Me, Sue, are from the 60s, and there's another guy that we know from the 70s. So we're talking about sexual abuse, historic sexual abuse went over a period of donkey's years, not, probably as long as Beechholme fucking stood.
Yeah.
I mean, and Jean, you got the carbolic soap in your mouth and that, didn't you, when you was in Beechholme?
Yeah, I did.
Just tell us a little bit about that.
I was scrubbed black and blue and everything, scratched on my bums and everything else. And my bum was bleeding, my legs were bleeding.
Yeah, but when they used to put us in the bath, Jean, they used to use like the red carbolic soap. I don't know if you're aware of it, Bob, but it was like an industrial soap.
It's a big bar.
Red block of soap.
Red bar, and you use it to scrub the floors with.
Yes, right. It was used to scrub the floors, and the rubbing brushes they used with the carbolic soap to scrub the floors up.
Yeah,
like you used to do in London, in the old East End, they used to scrub the fucking steps and then paint them red, I think it was.
That's it. There's big brushes with hard bristles and that, like, and they.
And I said that's what they used on me, and when no one else had said it, and then suddenly she came out of it one day when she was talking. We'd done a little interview with her, and she came on the show, and we was talking to her about it. And then Sandy said exactly, or Jane said exactly the same about the carbolic soap. And then I've heard a lot of Shirley Oaks survivors turning around, Sosa. A lot of them have said carbolic soap was used in there. So it wasn't a relief for me, but it was like, when you tell somebody a fucking story or tell them something about what's happened to you, they say it's hard to believe that. They do that. And then when people turn around and, what's the word I'm looking for? Clarify what you're saying, kind of thing, then it all adds up to the injustices that went on.
Yeah. And they use the back of the brush to hit you on the head and hit you on the shoulders and everything goes on the bum and everything, and you all down your legs. By the time you come out, they use all black and blue with red. It's freezing cold, sick, and everything.
It was not a good
time. You had to try and wash your mouth out with water and everything. I mean, you got in your eyes stung. You couldn't get out your ears, all over your hair. And sometimes it used to be thick. matted afterwards, you know what I mean, to try and get it out your hair.
Now, another thing I want to come to, just going to come to Sandy in a minute, Jean, and have a little chat with Sandy, because is Jane with you?
She's on the phone to a friend just now.
I don't know if you're aware. Sandy, just tell Bob a little bit about what they did to your Jane.
Oh.
Now, Jane was in Corey's as well. They tried to make, you won't believe this, Bob, when you hear this. You've heard like little snippets of what went through with us at Beechholme. That's one kid's home, out of fucking thousands of them. And this is the other end of the country, Scotland. You wouldn't believe to the degree that they went to try and make designer fucking babies out of orphan children. Sandy, just tell Bob a little bit about Jane.
Well, Jane was taken into Corey's when she was 4. Her brother was 3, and her sister was only months old. And Jane became friendly with this girl in her cottage. And it wasn't until Jane left that she found out that this girl she became friendly was actually her sister. Now, Jane and her sister was poster children for Quarriers. They were in calendars, they were in books, they were everything. And Jane was born with no fingers, so they started to experiment on her. And God, it's you want to see the mess. Jane's got wee stumps across in the middle. Jane's like that with her fingers. If she's finished, it's the best way to let you see this. You've got to see this to believe it. This is horrific, absolutely horrific what they've done here.
You're right, Sand.
What do you say?
You're right, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you stay strong. Don't go too deep if it's gonna upset you. Don't too deep.
Normal. They started putting white gloves on kids, the girls, so that they all look like Jane, you know, with the white gloves. But what they've done for fingers is they put cardboard or paper or whatever into the fingers and forced her fingers in. Now her hands would be bleeding, and she'd just stand there to get photos taken and smile, and she'd be in agony. But if she didn't smile, they got hammered, absolutely bloody hammered if they didn't. We've got all the proof in this, we've got it all there. We also know that Jane was a designer child, that there were people coming asking for certain types of children, age, eye colour, everything, and we've got it in proof on Jane's records.
Almost, Sandy, can we just cut in a second? That almost goes back to the fucking Nazis with the blonde hair and blue-eyed fucking designer babies, doesn't it?
Yeah, aye. You know, it's like a fucking New World Order. We want blonde-haired girls and we want wee children because they're better and better. It's fucking sick what happened. I'm sorry for my language, but it does make me angry what happened in this asshole of a place. But we can prove that Quarriers did and were involved with designer children. We can prove it. We've got it there. They were a family asked for a young girl between the ages of 6 and 7, must have blonde hair, either blue or brown eyes. You know, that's designer children. So we've got it all, we've got everything in record. It's just, it was horrific the things they'd done. There were people coming for children. We don't know. We were taking it for weekends. A week's holiday or whatever during the summer and things to these people. We can remember going. And Jane wakes up at night, a lot of nights, screaming about a 4-poster bed, but she can't get this connection. It's always a 4-poster bed. She knows she was taken to a house in Bridge of Allen in Scotland, which is just outside Stirling, between Stirling and Dunblane. And she remembers going to I think it was a farm there, if I remember rightly. She can remember going there, but she just can't get it. But she wakes up with this 4-poster. So whether something bad happened there and it's her mind blocking it out, we don't know. The things that happened to Jane, I mean, she was abused by the cottage aunt in the place. And the cottage aunt used to get wee boys and girls and touch each other. and then get them to do sexual acts to each other. And Jane was only a kid here. You're, about 7-year-old at the time when this was happening. You don't do that to a child. You don't do it. The things that happened in Quarriers orphan homes. You would call me a liar. Even my psychiatrist, when I took a breakdown and I took an overdose, I tried to end my life in 2000.
That happens to a lot of us, though, Sandy, done it? Because I had feelings like, I've been on top of flats in London, Trellick Tower or fucking somewhere like that, and that's fucking high up. And I've been looking down and I'm thinking, when I was having fucking bad days, and like I sat at railway stations and seen the express trains go flying by, Watford Junction was one that comes to mind.
Not recommended. I've done that. I mean, the things I've done, I look back and I go, oh my God, why? How? I don't know. I just didn't want to live. Just it was all getting too much for me. And as you say, I'd done it with a train, but I mistimed it. But the train did hit me, and I was about 20 feet in the air. And I remember that, and I can show you it's not far from where I live.
People don't understand, Sandy, when you talk about this, and we talk about stuff like this, and we come very, very close to true life experiences and what actually happens, and you can picture it and say what you like. It's like in Beechholme, Jean, Sue and me, the amount of times that they put food in front of us if we didn't fucking eat it, they put it in front of you the next day until you did eat it. If you were fucking naughty, they put you facing the wallpaper and you'd have to stand there for fucking hours on end just looking at walls. The treatment and the punishment was disgraceful.
Yeah, because you told me about that with the food, not eating it. It was put down to you for the next meal, the next time you ate it. You get 3 chances, and the fourth time, if you didn't eat it, it was force-fed into you. I was force-fed tripe, and I was sick. I was forced to eat that tripe. The cottage father called out 2 boys, and they were holding my arms out. And the cottage father was round the back with his hands in my nose, pulling my head back and his other hand over.
Yeah, I had that.
And when I was opening my mouth to get a breath, in went this food and in went the sick. I was forced to eat that. This didn't just happen in my cottage. This happened in a lot.
Yeah, Granny Grace did that. She forced me back with me fingers up my nose and pulled me, trying to force it in my mouth, but even with her fucking fingers in my uter, I still fucking managed to wriggle free. I was like a little fucking worm. And I wouldn't comply, and I wriggled to fuck every time. Even when I was beaten, I was still trying to fight them off. Even as a young kid, you think I had fucking 11 years of that, I was in fucking Beechholme at a very young age. I was in 5 kids' homes before I even went to fucking Beechholme. And then to be told by a fucking judge you were going to hate authority straight away, and I can see where Bob comes from as well, is when a judge tells you at 6 years of age would like to go to the seaside, sonny boy. You've never been to the seaside, and the next thing they're banging you up in fucking Beechholme for 11 years. And Jean and Sue went through that shit as well.
I didn't conform. I never conformed.
No, I didn't conform.
When you was in there, Jean, when you was in there in the 50s, did you still have to call them auntie and uncle? Because we had to have this fictional thing where we call them auntie and uncle.
No.
What did you call them? Sir, Mrs, Mr, or?
Who must it be?
Miss.
No, Jean.
Miss or Miss Queen Living, because that's my house mother, Miss Queen Living. We never called him Mum.
Where did the uncle come from?
The only person that was called Mum was Mum Birch.
Yeah, but we had some of the staff we had to call Mr and Mrs, didn't we?
Yeah.
Some of the office staff.
We did.
But the rest were auntie and uncle.
Yeah, we was told to call them. They weren't our genuine parents, but they were our guardians. They had a duty of fucking care, and they were supposed to look after us and give us everything we needed. And we had to call them auntie or uncle. They weren't our real families, but they made us call them auntie and uncle in the houses.
Well, my abuser wasn't even a house father. He was just the husband of the wife that was there.
Yeah, well, we were mummy and daddy in Quarriers. It was mummy and daddy. And there were cottages where they were a married couple. Where the married couple were, that they became your mother and father. And I remember when I entered quarters and the door shut behind me, this son of a bitch of a man standing there telling me he was my new father. And this was my new mother, and I told him I had a father and mother. Next thing I got, whoa, put my ass in a, by God, he hurt me. I was crying. He told me to go up at Sandix.
Well, we got that as well, because Ian McLaren in Larch House, when I went from Laburnum to Larch, he used to use his fists on you, and he used to beat you up as a kid. He'd fucking hit you, and you'd lift you off the fucking floor. A powerful fucking man in his 30s was punching a fucking 10 or a 12-year-old fucking child in the stomach and fucking knocking him into the next room. I mean, he used to fucking sit on your rubbish genitals against you, fucking put you in arm knocks. He was so powerful, you couldn't do fuck all. He was so powerful. And that's when sometimes when I'm doing speeches and I'm at demos and I start talking about it and it comes back to me, I couldn't do fuck all because he was too powerful for me. He was too strong. I was a fucking kid. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't say anything. If I said anything, I got worse treatment, worse punishment. What does it sound like, Bob, when you hear us survivors that have come from institutions and you actually, you know quite a lot yourself because you have a lot to do with the children's movements anyway, and you've got kids of your own, but when you hear survivors talking, does it hit hard home to you?
Yeah, it does. It does. You think like all these children were actually taken away by social services with their false lies and things like that. And these kids actually go through this. Even brothers and sisters, they even get broken up through all these adoptions and things like that. And they think that's the only thing they've got is their sister, and then they're even broken up, and then it makes it even worse. And the abuse, what I've heard from children and well, coming to adults now, is unbelievable. It's disgusting.
It goes to show how bad it is and how fucking cruel and how broken our system is even to this fucking day, and it's still going on with, because I don't trust any of them. I don't trust social services. I don't trust the judges. I don't trust the fucking police. I don't really trust the MPs or none of them. I think they're all.
Nor do we, Alan.
But when
Well, no, because go on, Sue.
we reported it to the police.
Yeah.
Outside our school, and the police went down to the office. We got called into the office, and we was told we were liars.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Miss Orr then. Miss Orr.
No, it wasn't.
Well,
You're saying to me, I went to
Miss
Banstead
Orr
Police
when I was
Station,
there.
Bob, and they took me back to Beechholme in a Black Mariah, telling me I was a liar.
That's it.
And then I got dragged up in front of the superintendent, and the superintendent said, "Little boys like you get sent to Stanford Hill, places like that, you will be sent away."
That's
And there
Pop
was,
Banner.
Pop Banner, the superintendent. But where I was in Laburnum, I always remember looking out the bedroom window because my bedroom was right in a fucking window. It was so fucking cold. And you looked out at the window and you saw these vans like Sunshine coaches, which was aligned to fucking Jimmy Savile, these Sunshine coaches and stuff like that. They used to come to Beechholme and take the fucking kids away. We never saw them kids again. I remember them taking kids away from the nursery. Do you remember that, Sue?
I remember the
The
vans
Sunshine
being
coaches.
being parked outside. Yeah, I remember that.
Those yellow, wasn't they?
No,
They had
a sun on it.
White with yellow.
yeah,
with
that's
sun.
right. Like we're supposed to be the sunshine because they're called
Yeah,
sunshine coaches,
yeah.
and it was like a happy smiley face and the rays of the beams of the sun coming out of it. Like, well, you just only have to Google it and it come up with the old fucking design anyway. Horrific fucking shit that went on.
But even the superintendent was abusive by caning us. What he did to us.
That's right.
Well, we used to go in there, and he
So
used to say to
matron was like that as well.
little boys like you get sent away, and you get the cane, and you weren't allowed to say anything, you weren't allowed to do anything. I mean, all we did was run away.
Yeah.
I ran away about 3 times from Beechholme.
I must have run away nearly 100 times.
I must have run away quite a few times, more than bleeding 3, 4, could be about 50 or something. I was always running away.
Yes,
and I was always being called up to matron's office, you know what I mean? And she used to pull my knickers down and put me over her desk, get a bleeding slipper and wet my bottom hard. You know what I mean? Really whip me. I come out there black and blue, all
We
red.
had the cane. We had
The same
to,
as
I
we
got the
got
cane
all
as
that. We
well.
got all that fucking really harsh treatment. They used to put you in shorts and so they could slap your fucking legs really, really hard. And your legs would sting as if you'd been running through a field of fucking nettles.
Yeah.
It was that harsh. The treatment was that cruel. And
That's all right.
God,
It
sorry.
was embarrassing when you went to school with bruised legs and clothes and you had PC. Good God, you know, I used to run and hide when we had the
some
PT.
kids went to school with blood coming out of their fucking running down their legs.
Yeah.
Where they'd been anally penetrated and fucking hit so hard or scrubbed so hard with fucking brushes and carbolic soap.
Yeah, I don't know
Make
how
them
they
bleed.
let them go to school like it.
Yeah, well, they would go to school in blood-stained clothing.
Mm.
And it was, well, if you'd seen pictures of me in the short, well, if you see pictures of me when I've done them pictures, I look like a fucking orphan.
Yeah.
Because the way they dressed you up like you were some sort of something out of a Second World War, or you know, like a Japanese island or something like that. That's you was a real fucking proper orphan. He was horrible the way they fucking dressed you. I wanted my own clothes back, but every fucking thing had Beechholme put in it. The name, I ended up getting beaten up at the outside schools because of the labels in my clothes and being called an orphan and fucking shit we went through.
What about the haircuts they used to give us?
Yeah, we all had the same haircut.
Pudding face and haircuts they used to give us.
Well, when they say that, when they put a bowl round your head, they shave your head, that's fucking true, Bob. Fucking gospel truth. Mr. Kimber, we used to call him the, what was his name? Kimber.
Demon Barber.
Yeah, he was.
I don't remember his name.
There was him
He was an old man,
Kimber.
middle-aged man he was.
Bald
There's
headed
two of
man.
them, him and his brother.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what we used to call him.
He was a pudding-based cut, straight across here, down here, and around there.
I've got pictures of me.
And
Do you see
bow
that
he
picture
had.
of me when I'm on the boat? There's a little boy in the middle of the photo of me as young. I think I got it on one of my Facebook profiles. That picture is when I've had a haircut. And another thing they used to do to us, Bob, is like I got two sisters and another brother, and we were all placed in Beechholme, and they put us all in separate houses. They didn't allow us to ever be a family ever again. And it went into real life. We never, ever, the four of us, ever shared the same room again in life, ever, to this very day.
They did that. They did that with a lot of families in the home. Even in my day, they separate the kids for all different cottages and everything.
Yeah, but if it weren't bad enough to go through what we've been through and telling the stories like we're doing, and Bob's listening to it now, and then fucking me living up here and meeting Kathy, a Lincolnshire girl, and then moving up here to get away from the smoke, fucking London, and every time I go back now, I thought, fucking hell, I'm glad I don't live here now. It's a right shithole, right fucking dump. Well, I mean that personally, Bob, because
Well,
it's not the same place as it used to be. Fucking, eh?
I'm still there.
Well, but your place is a fucking dive, isn't it?
I live in Romford. You know what I mean? I live in London still.
Romford's a fucking not a brilliant place to be. You're out fucking numbered in Romford now, anyway.
Yeah.
No.
But see, I've got a nice little flat though, haven't I?
Yeah.
I mean, the flat's not bad, Alan.
That's it. You make it yours inside. It doesn't matter outside as long as you're inside. Good for you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you've got a nice gaff.
Right.
And it's what you make it inside. Well said. Well said.
It's
like we've done. We all do the same
it's
now.
accommodation now. I mean, so
But,
it's all right.
It's the worst part about it is if we didn't. My first 25 years of life were fucking non-existent. Sue knows what it's like to sleep rough in the streets of, you know, with sofa surfing, sleeping on the streets of fucking London. I remember the soup kitchens outside fucking Waterloo Station.
Yeah.
There used to be a soup kitchen out there. I used to go to that, and you know, or put a brick for a fucking shop window to get a fucking. They used to say never get nicked on a Friday night. Well, I used to put a brick for a fucking window on a Friday night, so I'd get nicked and I'd get fed and watered for the fucking week in the coffee shop. Because they used to sometimes put you in court on the magistrates on a Monday, so you had all weekend. And in them days, it weren't. Well, if you've done bird, it was a piece of piss. to fucking the average fucking person. You can do it fucking with your eyes closed. That's what I used to do, just fucking curl up in a ball, fall to fucking sleep. Get me my tucker when I've had my tucker, fucking, when they kick you out, they kick you out. Or then fucking, the next fucking Friday, you was back in the fucking nick again if you didn't have nowhere to live. Another brick through the fucking window. But what happened to us was bad because when like in our 60s, is like, so when I was with Kath in my 30s, right, I fucking used to wake up in the middle of the night and I was fucking fighting in my sleep and punching and fucking because of what happened to me as by Audrey Wilson and the shadows, dancing shadows of the leaves on the ceilings and the flickering of the light for the trees, the beech trees. And Audrey Wilson touched me up in the dormitory. And I used to have nightmares, Bob, when I came to live up here in Lincolnshire with my missus. We'd live in near Spalding. We lived there for 18 years. I used to wake up in the fucking middle of the night fighting in my sleep and trying to get the people who were trying to get me. And I was still having nightmares even in my 30s. And then when I'm in my 60s, it's, you know, we said it how bad it was to start off with, from being a fucking youngster to 6, 5 kids' homes, Beechholme 11 years, then fucking living rough and doing stuff we had to do for 25 fucking years, then living with Kathy and fucking having nightmares. And then in your 60s, turning round and being phoned up by the police to say, well, somebody came into a police station and said that it was abused in Beechholme and your name was mentioned. And that led to 4 visits from Guildford Police coming up here. And all that expense for them to tell me after 2 years, 2018, I think it was, wasn't it, Sue?
Yeah.
2018 they came to us, Bob, and then they told us that our cases were concluded. But the expense they went to for that case must have been about £1 million fucking quid. Operation Brockhurst, they called it. Because they do put that to a lot of kids' homes' names, don't they? They give them. Hello, Jane. How are you, darling? I just not saw you there.
Hello.
Clapping away there. Are you right?
I'm fine. Thank you.
I was just telling Bob how cruel it was for you when you was younger in Quarriers, and trying to explain to Bob what it's like as a survivor. And I was trying to tell, I hope you didn't mind, because it's your story to tell. And, you know, Sue's had a fucking bad experience as well, which I'm going to come to as well, because I want to try and give a little bit of each, just to give Bob a taste of what it's fucking like for survivors. Jane, can you show us your hands? Is that all right?
Okay.
This is what they did, Bob. You can look, you can see, Bob.
You need to hold over. There we go.
Can you see, Bob?
Yeah.
That's what they done to make Jane a designer child, try to give her fingers.
I never had fingers on that side. It was just a clump. And Corey decided to give me fingers. So to stretch the bone and put wire on, and every month I'd have to go and they'd extend the wire and pull the skin. They got the extra skin off my tummy. So they took the skin from my tummy and put it on my fingers. And on Sundays, we had to dress properly, young ladies with white gloves. And because I couldn't get in the gloves properly, they used to put either a wound up bit of cardboard or a thimble for sewing. And they would force my hands into that. And even when the blood was coming through, I had to cover it up with the other hand so that it would be noticed.
Yeah, it was bad. And that was both of them were at Quarries. Jane and Sandy were both at Quarries. And they didn't see, how many years was you separated, or you didn't see each other?
40.
40. Jane disappeared when she was 14 years of age. Nobody knew where Jane was. I went back to find Jane because Jane was going to be my wife. That was it. We had our life planned. And I was about 16, coming on 17 probably. And I went back to Quarriers, wouldn't give me any information. I tried, but nah.
Dispute it every now and then, Sue.
It was 48 years later. That's what, coming up for 8 years now? Coming up for 8 years now. We met again. And we're going all right, don't we?
Do you know the thing though that I say?
We're going all right.
I think in life everything happens for a reason. And people say, oh, you've been through so bad, so this, and I think, well, if I wasn't going through it, somebody else might have had to go through it.
Yeah.
But the way quarriers deliberately didn't want us talking to another quarrier's child, they wouldn't give out details. Like Sandy said, if you'd got down here, you would have seen that book. Well, so there's loads of people.
I was saying, Jane, if I can come in just a second, it's the same sort of thing, similar thing. When we was getting abused, or the staff were in the dormitories for the kids, the other kids would turn their backs and face the wall, so they weren't looking directly at the staff or watching what was going on, because they would have been punished as well if they were seen to be looking, or they would have been told to face the wall. That's what used to be said to them: turn and face the wall. So they didn't fucking see what was going on. And that was the fear that the staff used to put into kids, that you face the wall and turn your back. And when somebody turns their back on you and you look around you and the whole fucking room's got their back against you, and everybody's fucking just like that, sleeping up against the wall, there's no help. There's nothing.
Yeah, because
Absolutely.
we were actually, when the abuse happened to us, the physical, we were taking it away outside into what was known as the shed, which I showed you.
Yeah.
And we were battered the shit out of there. And listen there, bitch, I'm not allowed to mention his name, but I get jail. Well, I don't care. I've got to the stage now, I don't care. His name was a Mr. Hull. Right, so a Mr. Hull, jail me, I don't care. So anyway, he would grab you and take you out. But he would rip. It would come off and your shirt would get ripped off you as well. It was bare back. And he would throw you onto the floor. And there was a 2-prong leather belt. And I say, I've still got scars on my back. And when I reported the first time I was abused, the sexual bit, I was too young, I didn't understand. But I knew with the beating they gave me, I shouldn't have done that. And I reported that. And I was saying, they phoned him, he come up to the main office, because it was the only place we could go. We couldn't go to police, there were no police about. You had a walk to go in there. But I reported my abuse to the people in the office. And when I reported it, they phoned him. He come up, he was in a rage. I was slapped, I was punched, I was everything. This is in front of the people who's supposed to be taking care of me.
Yeah.
So he warned me, he goes, when you get back to that cottage, God help you, you're going to get the biggest hide. I remember every word.
Like that before.
God help me, I was going to get the biggest flogging I ever had in my life. And I was told, more or less, I was told to say that I'd made it up, and I had to apologise to that man, but I did, thinking that I wouldn't get this flogging. But when I went back to that cottage, the clothes were ripped off me again. I was thrown onto the floor, and he was really going for it. And I was trying to get away, and he told me to get back onto my stomach. I was petrified, and I did it. And the bastard, I'm sorry, put his foot in my back so I couldn't move. With pressure, he started beating into me, telling me, I told you not to tell anyone. The second time it happened, I got another beating after I was raped. I got a beating again, and he beat me so hard that he really bruised me. Now, I used to go home on a Friday night, but that Friday night I didn't. For about 2 or 3 weeks, I didn't go home. And I was telling my father that I'd been not well. Don't worry, because my mum was in hospital. And I was telling my dad, you go and see your wife, it's okay, we'll take care of him. But they never once told my father, your son's been raped in here. The guy had done it, beat him black and blue so bad, we can't let him home. They never ever mentioned that. Never once mentioned that. But I kept it inwardly. And I never told my father and mother. My brother, my sisters, my ex-wife, my son, no one knew. And the first time I spoke about my abuse, that happened in 1959. That was the first time. And I never spoke to that to 2012. That was the first time I ever opened up. Right. On you go.
Sorry, Jane, do you want to come in?
Yeah, I just want to say that each cottage, sorry, my speech isn't good tonight.
You're all right, darling.
Each cottage, the punishments were different. I mean, no one in my cottage got beat up or anything. We had a cottage mother and a cottage auntie, and the cottage aunt had an annex next to the girls' bedroom, and she took girls into her bed and what she done. Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible. I learned something the other day that, well, not the other day, a few weeks back. Well, I didn't actually know this, and it adds, well, it adds credence to the fucking what happened to you. I don't really know, but I was told by my sister Bob, because my two sisters were in Beechholme, and one of my sisters was in the same house as Sue, and I think she was in there before Sue. But my sister's abuser, I don't know if he abused Sue or if Sue witnessed abuse, but he tried to do things to Sue. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. But what I wanted to say is, before I went into Beechholme, I was in and out of care. They called it respite care from as young as a baby. For I don't know what age it was. They've got me actually in my records in care before I was fucking born. So the records are fucking wrong to start with. So, but they got me in childcare from a very, very young age. And I heard from my sister, and I didn't know this, that she said that my mum used to hit us on the head with her stiletto shoes. And I didn't know that. I don't remember that bit, because I was only about 4. But I remember my dad beating me with his leather belt. That was, I remember that because I used to hide under the kitchen table. And I don't know whether you got so many fucking hidings that you almost came immune to it, because it was like it in Beechholme in the end. By the time I got to Ash,
Yeah.
I used to get a punch or slap round the fucking head. I used to turn around and laugh at them. And I know that sounds a bit fucking callous when you say something like that, but I used to turn around and say, "You can't hurt me anymore. You've fucking been hurting me all these years.
You get
And
tough.
I'm not going to fucking fold up and die.
You
I must be here
get
for a
tough.
fucking reason." Sorry, Sandy, you want to come in?
Sorry to interrupt, but I need to go and do my meds. Okay.
All right, darling. Yeah, it's nice to see you.
Love
Thanks
you.
for coming on and just having a little chat with Bob and that.
All the best.
I want to come to Sue as well, Bob, and just listen to this, because this is fucking horrific as well. Now, I brought you on as well to. We will get to you in a minute, and we'll have a little bit more time with Bob in a minute. But Sue, tell us what happened a little bit about the time you saw Mr. Gray or Mr. and Mrs. Gray. They were abusing children in one of the cottages, and just to give us a little bit of an insight to what you saw in the house and what actually happened to you, because they tried to silence Sue, Bob. And listen to this. This is quite fucking. And I'm glad you're on, because you get an insight to fucking what survivors actually did go through.
So he used to come in my bed at night and put his hand down my trap pajamas, because I used to sleep on my belly. And he was touching me. I woke up and found him there, and I told him to get out. And he did it about 2 or 3 times, and then I was put on tablets, I suppose, to make me sleep. I don't know. And then I woke up one night, and he was in the bed of a 10-year-old, and I told him to get out. So the next day, I took me and the 2 girls went up to the main offices and reported it. And they said go back to their house and don't say anything, which we didn't. And a couple of days later, obviously, he found out, because as I walked through the door and went up the stairs, he grabbed me around the throat to try and throw me down. But I fought with him, and within, I'd say 2 months, I was taken from there to a mental hospital when I was 14, and kept there for 3 years to silence me. Well, I was there a year, and the police came down. They caught him doing it, and but that didn't help me, because as far as my family were concerned, I was in that case. I was in that house. They never knew what I was there for, and I was kept there 3 years altogether. But he did get put away for it, but not for what he did to us. So
It's the Scouts, wasn't it?
yeah, he got done for doing the Scouts. Yeah.
But the thing is as well, Sue, these people, when you do get them to court, now we've had some of the abusers taken to court, but the sentences they get is pathetic.
Yeah,
He got 3 years.
But then you see people like Bob, he's out filming, and he gets 10 grand a fine.
Yeah.
Oh, for telling the truth, you get more of a sentence for telling the truth. You know, than these dirty lying scumbags get for abusing children in our country. And it's good when you do get people like yourself, Bob, it's out there, video, letting the people see what is happening in our country today. It's sick, it's disgraceful, it shouldn't be happening. I still don't understand why the police down south, as I would say, why they're so heavy-handed to you. You know, these rallies are beating grannies up, or beating everybody. As we heard, they're going in. The latest trick now is going for the females and the elderly, and that will cause disturbance so they can get more. Is it because we're in lockdown, there's not so much crime, so they can turn in and like a bobby £10,000, you know, they can find us more to make this lost money up. You know,
women are weak as sex, aren't they? You know,
we're quite strong.
You know, though we fight back, but the elderly can't fight back, really.
No.
You know what I mean? The elderly are defenseless, aren't they? You know.
Yeah, but I mean, with crime and the people they're getting all this income in week in, week out. People are taken to court and fined. They're making a certain amount, which they've got to do. But now that we're in lockdown, the crime rate has come down. So they're going out and they're getting people like Bob and that, and 10 grand, 10 grand, 10 grand, 10 grand. Is this a ploy to keep this money up? Why are they coming in so heavy-handed?
Trying to silence us because of what's actually going on in London, of moving around of children, grooming gangs, what actually are happening. Why do you think the schools are still open so these children can actually still go missing, children being kidnapped and things like that? The bigger picture, this is how me as a street person actually looking at it now. This is why we're out on the streets, to try and wake up what's actually happening, what the elite are actually behind doing with all the children. Even adults are actually silencing and grooming and things like that, drugging. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Also, the police are not the police, are they? They're sort of nightclub bouncers, aren't there? A lot of them with glorified uniforms on, aren't they? Now, you know what I mean. So these bouncers would go after anybody. You know what I mean. It doesn't matter. They're not the proper police in London.
But you notice with the likes of things like, you know, I don't know about you, Bob, with your films or stuff, but when we do it up here, we film stuff, and we put that out on YouTube and Facebook, it's taken down. It's immediately taken down. And then right?
And yet Facebook can put on
a complaint. It's always we had a complaint from someone, you know, and we had a complaint from someone. You're putting this horrific material up on Facebook, or you're putting it on YouTube, and then we're away in the police van to get interviewed and stuff. But we're kept in for about 3 hours, and then we're allowed back out. You know.
Yeah.
But
I don't like Facebook because they can put obscene photographs of children, also of dolls and everything else. And yet when we put the truth out on Facebook, they delete it. They ban us, you know what I mean? Which is not fair, because we're not getting our say across.
Yeah, well, there's a new there just now, and it's called Frog, and it's for kids. It's targeted at kids, this thing, this Frog. And when the kid signs up for this, they have to give their telephone number. So that's saying they've got everything about that kid telephone number a lot.
But the kid's number?
And some of the things that's been getting put out in that is disgusting.
Shouldn't be allowed.
Aye, well, I put a big warning on my Facebook site
It's
about
where we
it.
get the pedophiles from.
It's sick. We're living in a sick society that, I mean, you think the people in power want children to be abused. You know, and I'm talking for the royal family right down. We all know what happened there. We know what's happened to the royal family and that. I mean, I had even the proof that Savile was involved with Quarriers Orphan Homes. And
Beechholme. He was.
Off of YouTube. You know, and then it was told that the video that I had with this boy saying about Jimmy Savile and the Beast of the Bell Tower, what happened there and the guy getting murdered. Oh, that was falsified. It wasn't. I was here. I know the boy. Personally, I know him. And that guy, well, he's an adult now, but he's disappeared. Nobody knows what's happened to him. We don't know.
He's saying about Jimmy Savile, even George Michael and things like that. There were saunas in Kentish Town and people getting children through the back doors for certain clients and things like that, which we were going to expose, and they silenced us and things like that, so we couldn't actually talk out.
They did that in Westminster, didn't they, as well, the MPs, didn't they, in Westminster?
What's that again, Gene? Sorry.
The MPs in Westminster had that place, didn't they, down there at Parliament now? I forget the name of it.
Dolphin Square.
Dolphin Square. They used kids there, didn't they?
Yeah, I know, because I used to cab in London. I knew the Elton's Guest House in Barnes, and I knew Dolphin Square because I used to cab in London. So I knew all these places. The fucking security guards used to just wave you on. A quick phone call, and they just own people. They just fucking wrap around their little finger. And it's like either that or your job goes, or they can terminate your contract or do whatever they want with you. It's like the clause that NHS staff now, they've got them wrapped around their little finger saying if you don't agree to what we say to you, although nothing's written in their fucking contracts, and if they wanted to fight it, they could probably have good cause, because there's no such thing about wearing nappies in your fucking contract. But they've done so many, and I'll tell you what, it's going to get fucking worse. Because if Boris gets his way like he's done, we've sold the fishermen out this fucking week with a deal. There was no deal. It was either stay or leave the EU. And when we first came in 72, I think it was to join the common market. Now it's supposed to have been a fucking playing field. It was nothing about EU this and EU that. And he might have got out of certain rules and regulations like the European Union of Human Rights, the ECR of Human Rights, on the 31st of December, but he's still tied to United Nations Human Rights, which came out in 1948, and still Blair tried to change in 1998, and it's still word for word, it's still the same. He dressed it up and tried to change, but he couldn't do fuck all about it. The warmonger that fucking Blair was, but they couldn't do anything about it. But you watch, he's now. So the Grimsby fishermen, just down the road from where I live, are devastated by what he's fucking done. They've been totally sold out. He's virtually closed the fucking fish market down.
Really?
Well, yeah, because he's given the fucking. So it has been going on for 30 odd years. This has been going on since we've been in the common market. It's nothing new, right? He's playing into their hands and letting them have even another 5.5 years more of them pillaging and fucking taking our stocks. And
clearing our stocks, shall we
yeah,
say.
yeah. And it's just fucking, and it's just going to get worse, because now he's what, if you've noticed, and Bob would have noticed this, the Queen is patriot to her fucking subjects, right? She's the state of the country. She's head of state. Over the years, and I'll tell you something, it was Maggie Thatcher who brought a lot of the downfall of the royal family about, because there was no respect for the fucking Queen and Maggie Thatcher. They couldn't stand each other, if the truth had been known, right? And there was and Maggie Thatcher did her utmost to bring the fucking royal family down. and she wouldn't agree to things, and she wouldn't do things, and it was taking
By the unions,
more for the
didn't she?
power of the Queen.
Yeah, she bought the unions, didn't she?
If you now Bob will see this,
No.
know this as well. If you look at 10 Downing Street, now you see 10 Downing Street when they have these fucking COVID meetings, that changed when they started doing it because Boris wanted a 10-year reign from January of this year, of last year, sorry, when he first got voted in. He wanted a 10-year reign of office, right? So he could see all this shit come through. Now, if you look at that symbol, it's now got 10 Downing Street, not Elizabeth Regina or Her Majesty the Queen. And I've noticed something with the unicorn and the lion. It's still got the crown, it's still got the unicorn and the lion, but I think there's a chain on the foot of the unicorn, if I'm right.
Masons were took over, isn't it?
Round its neck.
I'll have to have a look at that.
Yeah, well, now there's a chain on the. If you look on the government website, any government website, if you look, that symbol that they stand or is behind them or is shown, it's a black picture with a unicorn crown in white, and there's a chain. If I could Google it, I might get it on my phone and show it, and just put it on screen.
The chains round its neck. Actually, the unicorn is the sort of symbol of Scotland, and the chain round the neck, it's a symbol that Scotland will always be under English rule. That's what it's down to. You know, that's what it comes down to.
We've talked about this before because in the 1300s, didn't you have the Arbroath Agreement, which was Scottish common law, and fucking Robert the Bruce and the fucking and the uprising of Scotland, right? And the English were trying to make they poured red troops into the fucking red coats into fucking Scotland, try and quell the Scottish, and they brought out an agreement because if we talk about the Magna Carta 1213, 1215, and then we talk about the Arbroath Agreement, it's Scottish common law, right? And that was almost to give Scotland the rule of their own country. That's what they wanted back then. Independence, basically, even back in them days. And their uprising with the pheasants and the barons and things like that, because a lot of the wealthy barons were buying land up in Scotland.
That's right. They were.
Because they were a way back, you know, in the.
Let me just tell you something, Sandy, before I forget it, because I know what my head's like. Just forget. I live in Lincolnshire now. Do you know one of the biggest battles was in Lincolnshire? Did you know? Have you heard of Runningmead?
Yeah.
It's in Lincolnshire.
That's near Windsor Castle.
There's another Runningmead in there's something Mead in Lincolnshire, and I think it's linked to Runningmead because the barons. There was an uprising. I have to do a bit more work on it, but I know one of the first uprisings was in Lincolnshire because Lincolnshire is surrounded by farmland, right? And that would have been workers.
Most grow flowers and that, but yeah, I know.
Yeah, workers. Well, I've said this before to Sir Geoffrey when we were talking on his garden program. There's a part of Lincolnshire where the soil is absolutely black, and that's where your black lance celery comes from.
Cambridge soil is black as well.
Yeah, well, that's what your growing areas more predominantly as further come up from London, basically once you get past the M25.
Yeah.
Because if what you were talking about there with all this, if you go back to 1845s and all that, Battle of Culloden and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, at that time, Scotland was all cattle, but there were a new industry was coming up here with cloth and stuff, and there were all these manufacturing companies all opening up, but they were all sort of English owned. These people coming and buying up all these mass lands, and they were trying to do away with the cattle and bring in sheep for the wool. You know what they want? They needed the wool.
Is that where Edinburgh Wall comes from, Sandy?
Pardon?
Is that where the original Edinburgh Wall comes from?
That
idea.
That's down now. The Edinburgh Wall.
You're saying they wanted to bring sheep in. That's what I said to you. When they brought the sheep in, is that where your Edinburgh Wall came in?
No, not really. There were things before that. I mean,
where did your tartan come from?
That's been out since before my time.
Yeah, no, but it was made from some sort of linen, wasn't it?
Yeah, I will. if you want a good kilt, it's got to be made of wool. You know, you need a woolen kilt. But there's so many tartans, you know.
It's
up
from
here.
one of the islands,
know.
isn't it, Sandy? It's from one of the
Sorry?
Scottish islands. It's from one of the Scottish islands, isn't it? Aaron, is it Aaron Wool?
There is a tartan. No, I think that's a type of tartan, isn't it, Sandy? Isn't there a tartan?
Yeah, but the likes with the Smith, there's so many Smith tartans.
Yeah.
And you get your dress tartan and blah blah right down the line, you know, and it's the same with all these clans. But one of the nicest places is was Culloden. When I went to there, and when you got to Culloden, this is amazing to see because it's big rows of graves, and it's all clans, you know. A clan after clan after clan. It's the next time you look, make sure you go up there. It's worth a visit just to see this. Very airy place, you know. If you go up there on a sort of foggy day, you get this sort of, oh, what a feeling it's up there.
Yeah, we wanted to go, didn't we? When we was in Scotland. We couldn't go to these.
The next time we will do that, we'll take you up there, show you up there.
I'd love to go and see it.
We'll take you up there.
It is a beautiful place, I must admit. It's when that time you took me to the Clyde and we were looking down the Clyde and we were looking at the scenery of the mountains, and I was in awe just looking at the fucking peaks of the mountains.
Yeah.
And it was just so fucking beautiful. It's unbelievable.
Scotland's my second home. Scotland is.
That's actually in Greenock where we were. And it's a hill. There's a big hill in Greenock called the Lyle Hill. It was Tate and Lyle Sugar. It was in Greenock at the time. It was Lyle Sugar work. And just after the war, there weren't enough work for the men. So Lyle, he got his men to build this road up this hill. It goes up one side, down the other. And at the top of it, you can stand at the top and you can see a way up to the Gileshire Hills, over to the Arran Hills, right down by Glasgow and stuff. It's a fantastic view. And it's the shape of the hills, the way they come in, and they call it the sleeping warrior. And it's like a warrior lying in his back. And I showed it to you, Alan, you'll know what I mean.
Yeah. And
once you've described it and you get that outline, you get it in your head, you can actually picture it. Yeah. So, Dumbarton Castle, which is just not far from us. And as you come down from Glasgow, making for Port Glasgow, when you come down, you look at that, especially at night, and you see it as a sort of silhouette, a black silhouette. It looks like an elephant sitting down. And Dumbarton Castle, it was the only castle ever to be hit during any World War. It was the only castle to be bombed because it was when the Germans were after the shipyards in the Clyde and they were bombing Clyde Bank, Dumbarton, down to Port Glasgow, Greenock. A bomb went a sort of stray and landed in Dumbarton Castle and went off. So hence, it's the only castle in the UK ever to be bombed during any World War. Both. So there's a wee bit of history lesson tonight.
Thank you. He took me to that place, and I fucking shit myself because he said, "Look down that fucking hole there," and it was part of an. He was telling me about the story where that fucking geese, was it a monk, got the cannon, the cannonball was shot.
Oh yeah. We went there. We went to see that.
Yeah, that's just outside.
When they took the cannon from Edinburgh.
Yeah, he was an unlucky fucker, Bob. He was one of them fuckings. He must have been a nosy bastard and heavy fucker.
That's right.
He must have been fucking looking at what was going on. He stuck his head up to look at a fucking cannonball hit the fucker.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What's going on there? I see no fucking shit. A cannonball hits him and get a cop that, you fucker.
Yeah.
But that was really deep, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it's again, it goes back to the Lyle. Well, the Lyles came from France. They were actually D Lyle, it was their second name, and they dropped to D bit here. But there were a battle between the Delisles in another farm called the Porterfields. And it was the King of Scotland at that time. And there's a big cannon called Mons Meg. It was presented to Scotland years ago. I think it was Sweden or some one of the foreign countries that presented it. And Mons Meg, it could fire a cannonball. It weighed a ton for a distance of 2 miles. But kind of way back in the medieval times, that was a fair bit.
How far?
But it was
2 miles.
pardon?
Do you say 2 miles?
2 miles.
That's a fucking long way.
It is, isn't it?
It's a cannonball in the days, you know.
Yeah.
And especially a ton, you know, you take this big ton cannonball coming at you. But it was a monk. There was a monk. He'd been kicked out of Paisley Abbey. He'd done something wrong. He was kicked out. And of course, he was taken in and he became known in Duckle Castle, Kilmacolm. And when the battle started, he was asked to leave. And he went, no, because he gave homage, he would fight in the battle. So Mons Meg was loaded up and the cannon hit fired. And the cannon came in the east wall and went out the west wall. But what actually happened is when the cannon came in the wall, the stones were blown to bits. And one of the stones come down and hit the monk and killed him. He was the first one to die in the battle. But I always say, it was at that time that we've got 2 teams up here in Scotland, Glasgow Rangers, Glasgow Celtic, a bit of rivalry up here with that.
Right.
See, that's when they discovered that this monk was hopeless.
That's Scotland.
He couldn't have made a goalkeeper for any one of them because he grabbed the cannonball and the west wing.
Come on.
But it's only, there's nothing there to be seen in the castle. There's a couple of wee stones here and there round about. You can get an idea how it looked and all that. There's drawings of it, how it looked and stuff. You can see that. But it was quite a lot. But after the battle, some of the stones were taken down river to build a new, what is Duckle House. That was owned by the Delisles, and it was sold over to the Macleays, this Lord Macleay, who was connected with Warriors Orphan Homes. But he sold out there. I don't know who owns the place now. I've no idea. I don't know if it's still on the market. But I mean, this was a massive, massive estate.
Can I just come in for a second, Sand? Bob, just hang on for a bit because you've got an admirer coming on in a minute. Jackie's going to jump on and say hello.
All right.
So I just got a message from her and she's going to jump on the show and just to say hello because she got a load of respect for you geese and she wants to say hello anyway. Sandy, I'm going to let Jackie come in as well. So I've got to watch out for Jack coming in because I've got her admitter. And also I'm going to get either Sue or yourself, Sue or Jackie to have a little bit of a say because I want to have a look in the chat room because I haven't had time to see if there's what the comments are in the chat room because I haven't really gone onto it yet. I haven't had time. I know you guys could have done that, but I'll have a look at it in a minute. See if Jackie does come on because she said she was going to jump on. I just want to see if she does come in. Sorry, Sandy, carry on and say what you were saying, and then when Jackie comes in, we'll get Jackie to say something.
No, I'm not saying anymore. No, that was that. You know what I was saying about that. But
I just want to say something about not looking in the chat room. I told you this the other day. The chat doesn't come up on mine.
Okay.
I've told you this. So don't have a dig at Sandy, okay? Not Sue. Sandy, you can take it out.
Oh, she's got a fucking exemption.
You're passing the buck.
Come on.
Yeah. Nice one, Sue.
Can I be referee between you two?
No, you fucking win anyway.
Listen,
do you know something? Let me just tell Bob something as well. That Bob, when we were in the kids' home, I used to wear my shirts collars up like fucking Elvis Presley, right? And I used to walk around like that. And she is the only person that remembers that. And that's fucking good memory to remember all them years ago. And Sue remembering that, and it's Sue.
Yeah, because she looks such a div.
Nice.
Stuck out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, he did. With his little black hair hanging over the collar. When he
Hey,
had,
Stu,
when he did
was
have
it-
some hair.
Was it long? Was it long?
Yeah, it was over his collar. That's when the time he did
Did
have
you
hair.
curl it up?
Yeah, I washed it and it fucked off. Wash and go.
only
Use that
have
wash
a
and go.
working
Washed it
didn't-
and it
You
fucked
didn't
off.
wear a DA, did you, Alan?
No.
You wouldn't believe it. That was a
No.
footpath
DA.
one day. It's a fucking motorway now. Look.
What the fuck have I got?
They used to have they used to have teddy boys, didn't they? You know what I mean?
Yeah, not when he was there.
And they used to comb their hair in that
I used to call Kimber. I'm trying to cook. It was like the fucking butcher of Baghdad, wasn't he? He was fucking with lethal that fucking bowl with you're fucking done. You used to look at it, fuck. He was fucking left.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, ho.
Right, I'm gonna have a look in the chat. You guys, Bob, tell us a little bit about what you got planned. You got something planned? Do you want to, or you want to avoid saying anything on any form of
I
media?
ain't planned it. I can talk about it, but I ain't planned it.
No, we know you ain't planned it. It's nothing to do with it. He's not even a fucking organizer or fuck all.
Where are you from, Bob?
North London, Finchley.
Finchley. Oh, yeah, I know
Yeah.
it. I know it. That's where they fit. They've got that big cemetery there, haven't they? In Finchley.
Yeah, very
There's a centre in every town, Dean.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No,
People are
no,
dying to get in
no,
there.
No, this was a big one, a very big one.
People are dying to get in there,
Finchley.
Gene.
You know,
People are dying to get in there, Gene.
I know I do.
Yeah.
I don't think she gets it.
Mind you, it's not for me though. I mean,
Upminster.
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 Yeah,
But she's going to be put down the beach in Bexhill.
my ashes are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna be scared.
Yeah.
Still, is you gonna get Brian to do it?
Who?
Brian Knox.
It'll right off.
No,
Is
no,
that
people-
right?
no,
he's,
no.
he's keen at fucking baptising people in the sea there.
No, I'm not having him. You're
I'm just
joking.
throwing her. I'm just going to go. Go on.
I don't
middle
care.
off now.
I don't care what she does.
He's gone from Sandy. I don't know if you know Brian Knox. He was gone from gangster to reborn again fucking Christian. Do you know? Bob might even have known of the name Brian Knox.
He's a loony.
He was.
He was a Satanist.
He was a fucking nutter.
He still is.
He was in some people's eyes as bad as a fucking craze.
Yeah.
And if he's listening in tonight, I think he was a lovely man.
You crawl ass.
You-
You're one.
Yeah, can you imagine me? He'd say, I'll baptise.
You're one.
He'd say,
crawl ass git.
Sue, he'd say to me, come down now and I'll baptise you and fucking drown me for saying that. Fucking hold me under the water. Yeah, take that, you bastard.
I'll
I'll go
tell
back
you,
to my fucking
I remember.
grind.
I remember he baptised that Sean, didn't he? And he was standing at the top of the beach, and Sean was sitting down on the beaten wall, and he's putting his hand on his head. He's going like this. Do you remember? He did it for ages. I thought, what in that case? What's he doing? Like, you know what I mean?
That's the day you
That
kissed the
sounds
pebbles,
amazing.
wasn't it?
Eh?
Is that the day she kissed the pebbles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Bexhill Beach, Bob goes
Oh,
like
here
that.
we
It
go,
goes up and
here we
fucking down.
go.
It's all stones.
Got to live it.
And
got
she
to
says
let
to
me
me, look,
live it
I ain't
down.
fucking bad for nearly 80. And she starts to leg it down the fucking stony beach, like that, fucking 1 in 10. And she goes, Sue's pissing herself. She goes arse over tip. Fucking, you know, she's kissing the fucking pebbles. Every cunt's laughing.
I said, did you film it?
She said to me, did you film it? You could have got 250 quid for that. I'm going to see where Jack is, and then I'll have a look. You guys talk to each other for a minute.
All right, cool.
Tell us what you're going to get up to, Bob, because you've got something planned.
All right, New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
New Year's
go on,
Eve.
tell 'em.
Okay. All right, New Year's Eve. We will be putting something out on Stand Up Rights UK, and I'll throw something on to Wake Up UK as well. As soon as I receive it at 8 o'clock, our meet is at 9 o'clock in central London somewhere. So it will be Whitehall, Bankman, Trafalgar Square, somewhere around that area. But yeah, we'll put a sign out where to meet, and then we'll meet from there, and we'll stand up for our rights, our freedom, and go into 2021. The fireworks will be going ahead because it's too much money to the media and everything. Where it goes to Australia, they go all cost on the TV because everyone's gonna be watching this. Everyone's stuck at home. It's going to be worth too much money for them to not let these fireworks go ahead. I'm not saying to come out and join us, but you make up your own design because it ain't me who's organised this. So yeah, just come and join us and stand up for your rights. That's all
Well,
I've got to say about it.
yeah, I'd love to come out, but I can't at the moment. I will be back out next year, but I am disabled, so I find it hard. But I do
No,
come
I
out.
totally
as much as
understand
I
that.
can.
Yeah,
We live.
it's
We're
more,
down
more
at
about foot soldiers.
We're
Yeah.
down at Bexhill, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I think we're going to organise another one for the Beechholme survivors and that, like we had planned this year. We're going to sort one out for next year as well.
Yeah, that's what we're
ahead.
Yeah, because we want to go ahead with our next rally.
Well,
Because
we
two of
were
our
Yeah.
rallies have
Tommy was
been,
behind us for doing that one, wasn't he?
you
Tell
know,
us a bit about that,
Yeah,
Stu.
yeah.
We
Two
were
of
going
our
to do one on
rallies.
16th of May.
Yeah, we had Tommy
Yeah.
Robinson behind us. He was gonna. He had half Whitehall blocked off for us to march from
Yep.
Trafalgar Square to Downing
Downing
Street.
Street.
We had the lorry and everything. We had all his security, and then they blocked us.
Yep.
And we had good speakers as well.
Yeah, but now
We really
because
did.
we're all joining together, there'll be millions of us. But we need to get it
Definitely.
out there.
But it's got to be millions of us. That's how we're going to get it across. You know,
Yeah,
the more we
definitely.
get, the more better it be for us.
And we,
Because people live in their own bubbles and they're sitting on the backstairs not doing nothing. And they should be getting out.
I mean, we do go out. I mean, we haven't been able to because of COVID, but we will be back at Parliament. There'll only be us two, but we give out leaflets. We get a lot of interest. We do get a lot of
Definitely.
interest, but then we get a lot that will pass with their heads down and don't want to know. But we do get.
No, I'm persistent, so I'll keep talking to them, you know, handing leaflets out. I've gone missing for about 2 hours.
Yeah, but we do get it out there, just the two of us.
Yeah,
You
that's
know.
it. It's awareness, just even talking to people, even
Yeah.
in your local towns, even going out and waking up people about things.
In
like
our
that
town,
going
they
on.
don't want to know.
They don't want to know.
No. Jackie.
Crazy.
You're good with the flyers, Sue, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
I hear you in the morning.
Yeah, we got to be.
I've got
haven't we?
Jackie in now. Jack's coming. She wanted to say hello, Bob. So, hi, Jack.
No, my screen's going fucking mental at the moment. Oh, right, anyway. Biffy!
You all right, Jack?
No, hang on a minute. It's gone blank
Where's she
again.
gone?
Oh, fuck's sake. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, yeah.
Thank fuck for that.
But we can't see you, though.
You what?
We can't see you.
No, you don't. My face is only for radio, darling, so you're all right. You're not missing nothing.
We don't want to see her beautiful face anyway. We just want to listen to a beautiful voice.
Yeah, I doubt that as well either, Al. Those tones can clear any room, that's for sure.
Was you listening earlier on, Jack?
No, I wasn't, no.
Bob was telling me about fucking he's fine. I didn't realise the bastards only want to find him 10 grand.
Yeah, I knew that, yeah, but like, don't pay it, Paul. Don't pay it at all.
I won't.
Yeah, I mean, when I do watch your lives, I think to myself, oh, what is he going to get up to now?
You do not give them some shit though. Fuck you know. You tell them, oh, fuck off. And what was you saying? You were saying, get off his fucking head or something the other day, weren't you? One of the coppers.
Yeah. They like me saying, oh, do you want to get in my pocket? You want to put your hands in my pocket? Oh, make me laugh.
Yeah, or he'll shout out something like, this way! Can't everybody this way? And you see him just all charge after him.
He is a fucker, he is.
As the other week when we had to jump a couple of fences, we had all the police grabbing everyone, didn't we? Went down a dead end and there was a little fence. This 46-year-old woman went over before me. I was like, bloody hell, I'm playing next.
Oh, you do make me laugh when you do your lives. I just think straight away.
He's such a character, Jackie, isn't he? He's got, and it's not so much that, it's well, he's like sometimes in the motor with his mates.
Yeah.
And he'll have a laugh, and he's got some fucking right Larry music on, and he's blaring out the fucking tunes and that. And he's just a fucking character. And Sandy, I'll tell you what, you got to watch Bob because he's fucking brilliant. He's absolutely hilarious, and he's always fucking cackling and laughing. He basically laughs in the face of a fucking adversary, didn't you?
Yeah.
I think you got to, with a fear of what everyone else is down for, you don't have to go and get the clump over your head, do you? So.
Yeah, but you get everywhere, don't you? You're all over the place.
Yeah, Manchester, Bristol, I've been up and down all around. So.
He goes to the camp. Al.
Was you at Nottingham with us when we were there with the veterans?
Yeah.
Me and Sue were there, and I was on the balcony.
I didn't see you there.
Yeah, we all the way up,
Hang on, Gene. I got it, Bob. Sorry, Bob. Say that again.
Yeah, I walked all the way up. Yeah, walked all the way around to Nottingham and that. Yeah, I've done that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was there with Sue, Gene, John Wedger, the Blair brothers were there. I think most of us, don't we know? I think Big John Smith, Big John Lawrence was there.
Yeah.
Fucking everybody what we know. Katie Jane.
Yeah, we went to that pub afterwards. We'll meet up.
Say that again, Bob.
I said we went to that big pub. Was it the Swan or something afterwards or something?
I didn't know about that. There's so many fucking of us. I mean, there was a big turnout.
Yeah.
Was
good
a
day
really
that
good
was.
turnout. They tried to, the police tried to kettle us, and there was a Black Lives demo. There was only about a fucking 100 of us, but it was fucking thousands of us. But it was how many bikers? Fucking hundreds of bikers. Must have been a couple of 100 bikers at least. But it was a good day because there was Sean there. There was quite a few.
There as well.
Who?
Joe and Dion Drayson was there as well.
Yeah, Joe was there. Yeah, see Joe.
Yeah.
What's the geezer? He ain't been well just lately. With a big beard.
Dean.
Yeah, Dean. It ain't been. Is it Cumberworth?
Batch.
Yeah.
He weren't too good, was he? He ain't been too good.
Yeah, well, bypass on that one, Al.
Why?
I don't like him. He's a liar.
Oh, okay, right.
He's caused a lot of problems and a lot of shit stirring.
I didn't know that, mate. I didn't know that. So, yeah, okay.
We don't carry on about that one. We don't do the divide, do we?
No, we don't. But we don't need shit stirrers in our group to make it look worse when we're not worse.
Yeah, we get a lot of we seem to get that in a lot of groups. We get a lot of problems that start up over a slightest silliest thing, and it gets blown out of all fucking proportions. And instead of us all fighting and fucking arguing, you know, what we need to do is all come together, all the groups join to fucking together and get to one big massive fuck off demonstration and fuck these people out of Parliament.
That's what I'm getting through to. I was like, you know, I'm linked to DFLA, SED, Children's Matter, Save Our Children, Pedo Hunters, you name it. I'm linked to. We're all like I said, I won't do divide. I never will do. And at the end of the day, it's about saving our children's futures. What's happened in the past, like you survivors, and that's all like evidence. What we need to know is how we can protect our children now in the future. For the children's future, it's about saving the children's future. You know what I mean? In our country. Part of Brexit and everything like that, it's all a part of saving our children.
Yeah, well said. And you know something, Sue, give her a due, has always said exactly what you've just said. It's all about the children. It's about tomorrow's children, and it's always has been. And let's get back to what we do best and join our groups and stuff like that, and join the likes of Jackie, Jimmy, and the rest of the great patriots that are out there. And there's some fucking good ones out there as well.
Patriot family, as I call it.
Yeah.
Family.
You know, we're eventually wheedling out all the shit stirrers,
Yeah.
you know, and once all that's sort of done and sorted out, then all these little groups that we've got, we can all amalgamate as one. And once we're all one big group, no one's going to infiltrate us.
Yeah, well said.
And that's what it needs to get everybody out on it and everybody talking about it, everybody listening about it. Since about the first week in December, I couldn't tell you the amount of friends I've lost.
Yeah.
Because I went into their shit, because they say, oh, Jackie, you should wear this, you know, and you've got to put that on. Oh, and don't forget to do this. So, no, I don't think so. No, but you do. That's what they're telling you. Well, you're the
Jackie, you don't listen. You speak your mind anyway, Jackie.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got something to fucking say, you say full stop. And when I've watched you and listened to you, I've heard you and the way you come across, you don't suffer fools gladly.
Exactly. You know, and they should by now know me, that I will say it, and I'll say to them, you lost your fucking mind. It says Daz on the side of buses, but it don't mean to say they take him fucking washing, does it? You know, like, excuse me, get a brain, stop listening to what you're hearing on the telly or on the radio, or you sit and read your paper from cover to cover. Start looking on the internet, start Googling things, start going on government websites, find out what there is about it. Go on YouTube and put in COVID-19 or put in Patriots groups. You'll soon see how many people there are that are telling you what's going on and what they're trying to do to us. And it's all fear and control. And you fucking idiots are sitting there believing it.
Hey, Jack, did you see, I think it was Hancock came out on the 19th of March saying that it was only like a flu virus. And that was about the 19th of March. It's no worse than the flu virus, they were saying. And then, I don't know if you've seen, Jack, have you seen the footage? There's footage going about of the cameras. You know when they do this COVID virus meeting from number 10 about, I don't know, 5 o'clock at night or something?
Right.
Well, the camera's still rolling. Afterwards, they've finished. And it picks up the staff. None of them are wearing masks. They're all walking around, they're picking up the glasses that they've been drinking out of. Well, if there's such a fucking pandemic, why are they picking up fucking glasses that they've drunk out of? Could have their saliva on it. Why are none of them wearing masks? Why are they next to each other at the lecterns and everything?
Yep, exactly. How come coppers link arm in arm? But they're telling they're telling us to stay away. And
you have a look in the vans, Jack, and you see them in the vans. They ain't got masks on in the vans. It's fucking. There's up to 12 of them in a van.
Yeah, I've watched them when they come towards Smithy, and he goes 2 meters, 2 meters, and he walks backwards to get away from him, and they still carry on walking towards him, and he goes fucking 2 meters, stay away 2 meters, and I'm sitting on my chair going, oh my God, he's going to get a fucking killing in a minute. They're going to whop him one, but go on, Bob, fucking tell him.
Well, I can go back to when we was in Trafalgar Square in August and September, and they didn't wear masks then. The coppers weren't wearing masks then.
They've only just started.
So you're muted, Sue. You're muted. You keep saying something, but you're muted.
They didn't have none in Trafalgar Square, but when we got down to Downing Street, they put them on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when we first done one in August, and I went down in August to do one, I think there was 56,000 in Trafalgar Square on one occasion, and there was another big one on a Saturday. And one of them, there was no fucking mask being worn by the coppers at all.
We see that in Glasgow. We see that in Glasgow every week, and they come in there with the minibuses. And there's a couple in where they go over to this Greg's Bakers for their donuts and their coffees. And they're sitting in that van, not talking away, no mask. But see, when they come out, they do put on the mask then. You know, so why the fuck are they sitting in this minibus, all giving it, yeah. drinking a coffee, munching away at donuts. No mask on. But when they come,
Do you know have been killed through it? None.
That's true, Jack.
None.
Yeah.
None whatsoever.
None at
So
all.
how come they only kill us? You know, we got to stay away like the 2 meters apart. Yet BLM, FIFA, the Muzzers, they can all group together in thousands and thousands and thousands of them, destroy everything that's what to do with our heritage. The old Bill run away from them because they're so fucking scared of them. But they don't tell them they 2 feet away, do they?
Hey, Jack, have you noticed, though, and Bob will notice this as well, is that more and more people are waking up, because I've seen more Asians and more blacks coming out with the protesters now. They're starting to wake up. And I've seen, I think I've seen a few Asians being nicked. I've seen a few black guys being nicked. Well, a classic was a bloke the other day. They tried to capture him, and he managed to wriggle out and run like fuck. Got away. The fat bastards were too fucking knackered to chase him.
Yeah.
There's a few big lumps coming out as well now. Big lads coming out like gym owners and things like that.
The old
Of all
TSG,
different cultures.
6 foot odd ones, aren't they? All geared up, all ready for you. But they don't do that when the other 3 are marching, and that's what I don't like, because you can't treat us differently to what you do them. So if they can be allowed to destroy our heritage, then so fucking should we. Why have we got Mandela in fucking Trafalgar Square? Not Trafalgar Square, Parliament Square. He's a murderer. I don't want him with Churchill and Abraham Lincoln. He's a fucking plain out and out murderer.
Yeah.
He used slaves himself as well.
Vandalise that thing.
And I've seen the march where all the Muslims are going down the street, thousands and thousands. The police are just walking quietly beside them.
Yeah.
They're chanting, they do nothing.
Yeah.
Well, 2 weeks ago outside the French embassy, there was thousands and the police that do nothing about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. There wasn't there?
Well, Bob was at Speaker's Corner the other week, and I'm not too sure if it was you that was filming it, Bob, but or somebody else, where they had the fucking benches turned upside down outside Speaker's Corner because there's a little cafe there, a little you can get cups of tea or something, or bits and pieces like that. And that was all closed down, the shutters were down on it, and it's now fucking Speechless Corner, but I don't know if it's changed. Have they let them back in there? Or, no, well, they won't do now because it's fucking tier 4, won't it?
Well, I ain't seen nothing about it
They let
today.
the Muslims and that back in. They won't let us in. They let the Black Lives Matter and all that shit in. They won't fucking let us in, no.
Yeah.
What about the mosque? Why are they closing? You know?
Because it's racist.
Then they class them as community centres. So that's how they're going to keep open. So why don't our churches then start saying, well, we're opening up as a community centre?
Yeah, that's right.
Stupid, and we go along with what we're being told. That's why.
You know, for them, the more for us.
I know it's a silly little thing, really, but there's you see Fury and Joshua are going to supposed to be fighting. Now, there was something earlier on where people were saying, who do you want to win, Joshua or Fury? If you say Fury, you're fucking being racist. What a load of old bollocks. And you look at the likes of Ferdinand and a few of them like that, Black Lives Matter and fucking Hamilton and all them, they've fucking got white parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they talk about white
narrative.
narrative. Yeah. Well, I don't like boxing. I never have and I never will. But I will say I want Tyson Fury to win it. And I bet he will.
Jack.
three rounds.
Talking about that, what's happening with your boxing match?
What, me?
You were supposed to be having a boxing match with Safa.
Yeah, no, that's not until in the summer, probably, of next year.
You're going to fucking knock him out, aren't you?
I'll give it my best go.
I don't know if you're aware of that, Sue, that Jackie's arranged a charity boxing match with Glenn Safa.
Oh, God.
I don't know if you knew, but fucking give Jackie a joke. She fucking beat him with her tongue.
do you know when, before I met Glenn up at that Nottingham, I thought he was a big bloke.
No, he's only little.
I was looking for a big bloke, and when I met him, he was a tiny bloke.
Yeah. You introduced me, didn't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
only Friday.
Well, one that said, Jack, do the boxing ring with me. And Jason said, I'll give you £1,000 if Jackie will box with you. And I went, oh, fucking hell, no. And he went, yeah. He said, I'll even throw it into you that you can bring both your girls with you. He said, and I'll take the 3 of you on. And I went, oh, God, I haven't told my daughter yet.
Tom will put some money in on that, won't he?
It's what?
Tom will put some money on that, won't he?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
most definitely.
Yeah.
You know, I have told them, that's a lie, I have told them. But we'll just wait and see.
God.
I bet you knock him out.
First punch, Jack. Bang.
Yeah, fucking Pistachio, don't fuck about. Just turn around and swing it around about 6 times and then go broof.
Well, I'm intending to get a slapping. Let's put it that way.
God.
Yeah,
Rather
but
you than
you
me.
don't need any more dental treatment, babes, do you?
No. No. I don't need to be egged on either because I'm more than happy to do it myself. Just if somebody else that says, yeah, go on and do it. And I think, yeah, fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
Are you all right now? Are you all better now?
No, I'm still under the hospital. I've had the MRI on my brain. They said everything's all right there. And I said, oh, really? I said, that's a shock. And my doctor said, oh, why, Jackie? I said, well, you found a fucking brain. I said, because I thought it years ago. She said, oh, Jackie, you do make me laugh. She said, but no, we've not found any brain tumour, which I was really petrified of. That's what I thought I had. But I haven't. There's no signs of dementia or Alzheimer's or anything like that. But she still wants me to go and see a neurologist because of the shakes. I get the shakes in my hands really, really bad some days. And I daren't pick up anything because I just drop it straight away.
Okay.
So I got that appointment January. I'm not exactly sure when. It's the early part of January, I know that much. So, yeah, hopefully, you know, I don't know what that one's going to say. I'll just have to wait and see when I get there, what they got to say to me.
Right, guys, what I'm going to do is, Jack, if you want to carry on for a little while, and Bob, if you want to stay on for a little while with Sandy and Sue, I'm going to just look after Kathy because I've got to help her with bits and pieces and stuff. So I'm going to go to Kathy. If you guys want to stay on, there's no show after mine, so you've got as long as you want. If you want to stay on for another half hour, an hour, whatever, you can take over and run the show for the rest of the time and have a chat amongst and get to know each other. Because I keep saying to Sue, have you watched Jackie and Sandy? And it gives you a chance to get to know these guys. And I'm going to say thanks, Bob, for coming on tonight.
Well, brilliant.
And I'll see you soon, bro. And Sue, as usual, and Jean, thank you, darling, for coming on. And as always, brilliant being with you, and we'll have to get some stuff organised for Parliament in the new year. And Sandy, brother, always a pleasure, Sandy. So I'm going to see you guys later and let you have a little bit of a chat between yourselves.
Right,
Okay, speak to you later.
See you later, Jack. See you later, darling.
Yeah, see you later, darling.
Bye.
Bye.
So, I know you can't say too much, but is NYE on an embankment, Bob?
Yes. Aim
Well-
there to be there for 9 o'clock, but there will be a post going out at 8 o'clock for exact location.
Right, okay. Because I might join you.
Okay.
The only thing is, you know, like with me walking stick, if it's going to get, you know, like all of them, the old bill going to come charging, then I'm going to have to leave because I can't take a chance on being pushed over.
Yeah, totally understand that.
Yeah, and I don't want anybody else to think, fuck, they've knocked Jackie over, let's get them, and then they end up getting arrested. So I'd rather not put me or anybody else in that situation. But if you let me know where you're going, are you going to use?
I think it's more foot soldiers coming out.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit more foot soldiers coming out to stand up against these police.
Well, yeah, let's hope so. Are you going to use public transport to get up there, or are you going in your car?
For London transport.
Yeah, see, I'll have to come home on my own with London Transport, and that's what I worry about. Because I don't think anyone from my
You can
area...
always park up at mine and then get on the bus back with us or whatever.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know.
Yeah, I'll let you know a bit more.
Yeah, let me know
Not
what...
online.
I know I'll have to go through the tunnel, but
Yeah.
yeah, so let me know that one, Bob. And Chelsea Allen be there, will ya?
Yeah, of course he'll be out.
Oh, that's good. That's good. What about
There's a
what was the other one's name who was at the camp as well? You all went to Bristol and he didn't come back, he went home.
Oh, Brexit Brian.
That's it, yeah.
He'll be out, yeah, he's been on the phone already today. And that, yeah.
Oh, right, brilliant.
Yeah, because we've had to set up WhatsApp groups because, as you know, censorship of Facebook and things like that keep shutting us down. So over the last 2 years, I've been grabbing everyone's number, putting groups and start up groups so we can actually keep the conversations going of what we're doing. So.
Oh yeah, I'll give you my number.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'll message you on my number, and you can keep me informed in whatever group you set up. Set me up in it as well, then, and I can keep going what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. So have you all had a nice Christmas anyway?
Yeah, we've had a good one, quiet one, a sober one. Makes a change.
Yeah, well done on that, babes. Well done.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
Getting there.
Yeah.
I feel better in myself as well. It's like I ain't waking up in the mornings feeling like crap and things like that.
Yeah. Well,
it helps my mental health as well.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And how's it going with your flat? You finished your decorating yet, or you still going?
Well, I'm going to go back in tomorrow. Mine a couple of days, and then New Year's Eve. I know a few lads are coming up, so they're going to be crashing at mine. So it'll be a good one.
Brilliant. Well done. Yeah, well done. I see when you moved your sofa and you put it on your car. Oh dear. I thought, oh my word.
You got to do what you got to do, ain't you?
Oh, it was funny. Yeah, it did make me laugh. So I take it, Sue, that you're a Beechholme survivor the same as Alan is.
Yeah, me and Jean are both survivors from Beechholme.
Right, got you. Yeah, and Sam is in Scotland won the Warriors. Right, that's it.
Warriors.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. So, well, I mean, it's not brilliant.
Sorry.
No, go on, carry on, darling, carry on.
We don't. I mean, we do go out, but like I'm disabled.
Yeah.
So I go out as much as I can. You know, but I live down on the Sussex coast, so as well, it's getting up there.
That's right. I live in Kent. You know.
Right.
So, yeah, it's getting up there. Which, you know, I mean, I've got a car. That's fine. But where'd you park your car?
Exactly.
Is it going to be safe where you're parking it? So, and as I'm the only one from this area, it means I have to go on my own on the train and on the bus and what have you. And I think, no, fuck that. I don't want to do that because I can't run anywhere. You know,
Whereabouts in Kent are you?
Sorry?
Whereabouts in Kent are you?
I'm not far from Bexley Heath. So I'm only just on the Kent borders.
Near Lemby, Sidcup.
No, I used to live at Sidcup, the other side.
Yeah,
Dartford.
There used to be a home in Sidcup, didn't there?
Yeah, the Hollies.
Yeah, that's right. I was in there before I went to Beechholme.
Oh, right.
I was.
Yeah, that was my ex-husband adopted, well, he fostered, him and his first wife fostered a young lad from there.
Oh, yeah.
That was well known for child abuse. So
actually, well, when I was there, I was all right. I was fine. I was there from 7 to 11.
Oh wow! Yeah, it's not there.
7 to 10. I was there for.
Oh wow! She's 80, nearly 80 now.
Oh yeah, well it was well before Pat's time then. Yeah, This would have been in the 80s.
Yeah, no, I
Late
was in
70s.
there. I was in about 40s and that.
Nah. Well, it's not our children's home no more now. That's all been knocked down. No, tell a lie.
Yeah, isn't it?
It's now a private housing estate, but the houses
That's right.
now, all
Is the
they've
red
done.
wall still there? There used to be a red wall going round there
Yeah,
into Burnt Oak Lane, and there used to be a school there
yeah,
in Burnt Oak Lane.
that's right.
And
Yeah,
there used to be a big tower there as well.
Yeah.
In the home.
Oh, right. Wow. Yeah, as I say, it's not. It closed, God, years ago, over about 25, 30 years ago.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
got to be that. It's got to be that easy.
Yeah, and some housing development bought it and built all houses in there. And the houses that the children had, they had names, didn't they? Like, I don't know, Ashburnham or something like that. They was. I think they.
Yeah, they did. It was like trees again, I suppose.
Yeah, trees has got something to do with it, hasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and but the actual houses, they kept them up, and all they done was rip the insides out and made it a house. You know, because some of them have got 5 and 6 bedrooms, I think, and you've got the minstrel gallery upstairs. So,
Yeah.
which was quite nice. You know, we went and had a look at them.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and I said, no, I don't know whether I do or I don't, because although you had to pay so many thousands towards the upkeep of the grounds all year.
Yeah. Yeah. It was big grounds there, wasn't it? The cottage was scattered, and at the back of the home, there used to be big blocks where the boys used to be in.
Was there a swimming pool there, Jean?
Yeah. At one time.
Because I know you had to pay something like, I don't know, it might have been about £1,000, and that was towards the upkeep. Like, it was every house that was there had to pay £1,000, and that was for the upkeep of all the gardens that were there and the swimming pool as members.
Yeah, there's a sick bay there and everything there. There's a school. There was, you know what I mean, like a primary school, and the Burnt Oak Lane was for the infants.
Wow.
That's just outside the home. It was, you know what I mean, in Burnt Oak Lane. And there used to be a park going up towards Sidcup Station. You know Sidcup Station?
Yeah, yeah.
There used to be a park there and a church.
Yeah, the park. Yeah.
And I remember
well, there was.
In the park there used to be a big pond with swans and that in it.
I don't think that's there now.
You know, and then further up, there used to be the church, and that's the church that the home used to go to every Sunday.
Oh, right.
Going towards Sidcup Station.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I don't know whether it's still there or not. I haven't been down there for years.
Well, we bought a house off of Longlands Avenue or Longlands Road, whatever it is. When you went under the bridge, if you was going up to the high street.
Yeah, I know.
Went past the station.
Halfway.
And you went up
halfway
the bridge,
street, halfway something called.
And you go under the railway bridge, and there are traffic lights there now. I don't know whether they was there when you were there, but at those traffic lights, turned right, that's Longlands Road. Well, we bought a house off of there. So, and then, you know, I said to her, I'll see you later, arsewipe. I don't want to be with you anymore. So I didn't. And so yeah, it was I loved living at Sidcup. It was so lovely, so nice. Well, mind you, he's nice and quiet as well. But yeah,
it's quite nice when I was there actually.
Yeah,
that was in the 40s and that in 50s sort of thing. You know what I mean? Early 50s.
Yeah.
They pulled a lot of the homes down, didn't they? They pulled Beechholme down.
Yeah. I think they thought if they pull them down, it will get rid of the stigma and people won't think of child abuse anymore. But they must think that we've all fucking thick as what they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if they pull the house down that's, you know, relevant to this, that we won't think, well, it's got to be going on in that house then, you know, and it must be going on in that children's house.
Yeah.
And that down the road, you know, or that one over in Fulham, or that one over in Hammersmith. You know, it's happening everywhere.
Yeah.
And
Mind you, there's a home in Hornchurch, and the children not there. They've still got the avenue, but they've still got the houses. But I tell you what they've done is they converted them into flats.
oh right,
Yeah, that's in Hornchurch.
yeah,
You know, and that was quite a nice home actually.
yeah.
Hornchurch.
We went back to Beechholme and we was talking to people, just walking around. Next thing, they called the police on us.
No,
Yeah. And
Right.
because we was walking around,
Talking
and
the
they
truth.
said, "What are you doing here?"
It's private there, I think.
So we
there.
said, "We just come round to look. We used to live here when it was Beechholme." Police didn't even know what Beechholme was, you know. And he said to us, "I think you better go now." We said, "No, we're not causing no problems."
They got a small old people's home there called Beechholme something.
Yeah, up the end,
Up the
by
end.
the orchard. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know, but
I see that myself.
yeah,
wow.
yeah. I mean, that closed in 1974. I got
Yeah.
put away in 1971.
Oh
from there.
right.
So
What?
that was
Yeah.
3 years after I got put
There used to
away.
be over 500 children in Beechholme.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Jeez.
24 cottages.
Yeah,
God.
yeah. They had 36 in the 12 up one end and 24 in the houses down the other end.
Good
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, it was a big place. We had the school, we had the swimming pool, we had a church.
The church got burnt down.
Yeah. Get burnt down.
Well, it don't do you much fucking good, does it? Praying to God, because the majority.
No, it don't.
Anyway.
I used to have to go to church in Beechholme in the morning,
Sunday morning.
school in the afternoon, and Catholic church in the evening.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We was forced to go to church when we was there. We was forced to. Sunday morning and evening service. And Barfield was the priest there.
We even had a church, some gravestones in the back of one of the houses.
Really?
Yeah, but they could have been. We don't know they were from, but it was a workhouse before
years
it was
ago,
a children's home.
Right, yeah.
That could have come from them, but I do remember the headstones behind Rowan, which was all overgrown. You know, but that house was haunted anyway.
Wow.
So, you know, but
Is the gravestone still there?
sorry,
Is the gravestone still there?
I shouldn't think so.
No,
They
I
built over
should imagine so because there's all new houses there, isn't there?
Yeah, so probably
It's
just
one of
torn.
these places, you know, all these homes they like to get rid of kids' headstones.
Yeah, like Quarriers, yeah.
I don't know what happened to the children that died there, actually, Sandy. I don't know whether the parents took them back home or what. I'm not sure.
A lot of them didn't have parents, did they?
Well,
No, that's what I mean. So I don't know what happened to them.
That was normally all, wasn't they?
Yeah.
The Quarriers, if the children had parents, they could take their kid back home, you know, it died, to be laid to rest with the family. If they had no family, then they were laid to rest in that graveyard at Quarriers.
Yeah.
But, you know the story, Quarriers removed the kids' headstones. Why?
Yeah.
No one knows, we'll never ever know. But at least we got them replaced, you know, but that was a battle. But what right has anybody got to remove a kid's headstone? You know, that's just sick, you know. It's sick. They can make money off of selling the church, you know, converting the church into flats, building new houses round about the graveyard, you know. Sick, shower, so-and-sos. But these places, they just exposed, you know, for the crimes of they're committed and stuff, you know. But next year, my big battle, Jane's battle starts. We'll make sure of that. We'll lead the Warriors into battle. If I'll be going first, and if it all goes to plan, it should. I can't see why not. But if I win this one, I'm going to open the door for every child or adult, sorry, every adult who was abused in care homes in Scotland. This will open the door for them to take the orphanage to court, because it pissed me right off. Sorry?
Good for you. Well done.
Yeah, because now the Scottish Government, they're turning around and then giving it £80,000.
In case they find it.
They're offering us £80,000. If we don't take the Scottish Government to court, because the Scottish Government come out with rules and regulations that all orphanages in Scotland didn't go by. This was years ago. And they never kept checking up on this. So the Scottish Government failed us as children with no checking up and making sure we were okay. So if we accept this £80,000, we have to sign a waiver that we will not take the Scottish Government to court, nor will we take our abusers to court, nor will we take the orphanage we were into court. Now that's blackmail.
Dirty bastard.
That's blackmail, isn't it?
Yeah. We've never, ever to speak again about warriors or anyone else. We've not to talk about what abuse, what harmed us and care again. That's total blackmail. You know, so more or less, we take £8,000, we sign our waiver, but we've still got to live with the horrors.
Yeah.
And if we're even to a doctor, if we take a breakdown, we can't go to a doctor. What's up with you? We can't go, well, I was abused as a child, and we can't talk, we're not allowed to, because we can get jailed for it. So that's dirty black, that's black at the highest level they're committing. And this is my case that I'll be putting forward, part of it, you know, with this. If anything, okay, I have tried to do daft things in my past. You know, I nearly succeeded in 2012, and that's when I came out and I started speaking about my abuse. Pardon me. But if ever somebody triggered me off again and I went back away, and I was asked by a doctor, what's up with you? I can't tell him. I wouldn't be allowed to tell him. So how can I get cured? How could I ever be cured if anything goes wrong? And there's still people out there today living with us who are, we lost one warriors a couple of weeks ago.
From abuse you've been through.
Never hanged herself. You know, an elderly woman. So that, we don't want to lose any more of our warriors. We've lost enough in our past. And what right has a speaking government to come out with laws like that? They've also come out with a law. It's an act of parliament, and it's the 26th of September, 1964 Act. That means anyone who was in a care home in Scotland who was sexually, physically, mentally, any kind of abuse, if the abuse happened before the 26th of September 1964, we cannot take our abusers to court. We're not allowed to because of this act. That's only an act of parliament. Well, yes, you can. You can take them to court for that. There's ways around about it. I've found them. I'm going to use them.
Yeah, we've got that down here as well. But they're not allowed to use it here.
No.
Yeah, they're not allowed to use 1964 Act.
No.
Surgeon and Co.'s using this. You know, I mean, that woman, honestly, God, they should date a surgeon that he didn't to William Wallace, hung drawn in quarter. You know, and that is saying she's a traitor to Scotland, she's evil. But the people up here, they think the sun shines out her backside. You know?
Who's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like her. There's no way that she's speaking for all of the Scottish people at all.
No.
looks a load of bollocks, just the same as our government does down here.
Yes,
Yeah, you're right there.
definitely.
Yeah.
Sturgeon and Salmon and that, they're all members of the Queen's Privy Council. That's how she says it. If Scotland goes for independence, we'll still keep the Queen. Well, I don't want independence.
All I can say is fuck
She's
the Queen.
free. You know, the EU, she's wanting to be part of that. Why she want to be part of the EU? Yeah. Farm that yourself and you'll see.
Our
You know,
Queen's
so
useless, absolutely useless.
These
Let's
assholes
get rid of them.
believing in it. Oh yes, we've got to be part of the EU because we'll get trade deals and we'll get that and we'll get this. No,
Yeah.
you
No, you won't. I can't see
we want away.
having free prescriptions and free fucking university places like you do now, all thanks to us. Yet we have to pay for our prescriptions and our children, we have to pay for their university places. You're going to get that free when you're still in the EU? No.
No.
But
No,
And we've got to pay for it then.
yeah, we pay for that.
Yeah, but I don't pay for my prescriptions.
No, because you're overgabbed, but they get their prescriptions free whether they're 60 or not.
Yeah.
But Sturgeon's got and believing. But we give so much money. We give more to Westminster than we receive. Okay? No, I'm not saying we do it. Right? But the thing is, we need to be part of a union to survive. I used to be Scottish nationalist through and through. That's all I ever wanted. Anybody that knows me, I'll tell you. I've been out in the streets. I've worked in the Parliament. I know how it all works. And the corruption I see, because I spoke out about Sturgeon one time, and I was threatened that bad things could happen to me. I could disappear, blah, blah, blah. I've had it all thrown at me. I don't give a shit. But I always make it clear if anything does happen to me, you know who to blame, because I will never in my life attempt suicide. I'll never do that again. That is my word, my honour and that. So if anything does bad happen to me for speaking out against Sturgeon, and I'll keep speaking out about her, because to the day and hour Sturgeon starts protecting our children, I will speak out about her and her involvement and how she covers up child abuse. You know, she was covering up Robert Greene when the late Robert Greene, when jailed him, an innocent man, and barred him out of Scotland. Barred him out of Scotland because he was speaking out the truth about Sturgeon and Salmon. And this Alex Salmon, you see it in the news, is he guilty of touching girls? Yes, he is guilty. Yes.
Yeah, got to be.
They're all guilty.
That.
That's the reason why they hide it from everybody, and they don't want it to go anywhere into the courts because the judges are guilty of it as well. So
yeah, of course they are. Of course they are.
But what are they going to do? Nothing.
Riddled with it. Scotland Yard is. Scotland Yard. They're riddled with it, aren't they?
When your judges and your MPs and all that, the first thing they do is take an oath to the Queen.
Yep.
They take that oath to the Queen. They're bound by the Queen's rules. The Queen rules our country. Our Queen cannot be arrested. The Queen, she's guilty of the Aboriginal children. She's guilty of the kids in Canada. Always obliterated thousands of them.
Yes, she was guilty. Coppers, the judges, the solicitors, the police,
social workers.
The social worker. She's in it as well.
She was found. The Queen and Prince Philip were found guilty of kids. There were kids, Aboriginal children they took away. I can't remember how many, but it was a lot of them. The Queen and Philip took them away. And
I thought that was in Canada, Sandy. I thought that was in Canada.
No. That was
well.
And then the tribes, the White Torres tribe out, they killed the whole bloody lot of them. You know, kids, the lot. She's guilty, they're guilty, 100% guilty. And then you can come on to Savile with his connection with them and sneaking kids in. I mean, even Savile was on television one night talking about how, and he get this wee 12-year-old girl in and he opens the door and Philip's sitting there and going, here, I've got another one for you to abuse, sort of thing. So, What the fuck was, I'm sorry for my language, but why the fuck was nothing done then? They knew about Savile and his involvement with the Royals.
It was
Why
the
were they not in the
BBC, wasn't it?
street? Aye,
Keir
you know what I mean?
Starmer was
We're
something
talking
to do with it.
about
Yeah, I
Black
was
Lives
just gonna say that.
Matter.
Keir Starmer was a prosecutor, wasn't he?
Top prosecutor or something or other, and
Yeah,
he
he
was
was. He was top prosecutor.
to go to Savile. The fuck it was, there was more than that. But he just threw
He
it
could
over.
have had several. He could have had several. Dead easy.
Yep.
But he
But they-
didn't.
Savile's got a cottage up here in
Oh,
Scotland.
don't matter
It's
who,
been
no
empty
matter
for
where they
years.
are, they're all involved in themselves. Look at Prince Andrew.
Yeah.
He's as guilty as hell. So is Charles. So is Philip. They're
And
all,
Mountbatten. And Mountbatten.
yep.
Aye,
They're
aye.
all guilty.
Another one.
Keep saying no, everything's all right. No, it's all okay. We've got it all underhand. You're right. It's
That Jill Dando got killed for that because she
Yeah.
found out about BBC and she got killed for that.
Oh no,
Jill Dando.
Jill Dando was killed
Something to do with that.
too involved in finding out what was going on. So they had to get rid of her. They had to kill
Yeah,
her.
that's right. They did, didn't they?
She knew too much about the royals, and they couldn't take a chance that she wouldn't say something to somebody.
And the
So-
BBC.
Yeah, because that with Jill Dando, she used to go to, she was living with a guy, he was a doctor.
Yeah.
And Jill Dando, at a certain day, she used to go to her own house and pick up her mail. But that week she changed it. She changed the day. Right?
Wow.
She changed the day. The only person who knew about that was this guy that she was staying with. He was the only person who knew she changed her day. So how did that fella that murdered her not to be there?
Yeah.
You know? And then when they gave out the ID of the guy that murdered them, they had them all the wrong height, wrong colour of hair. There was so much false information given out in that. These are things you don't put in the news, but research it.
Just going to get a drink. I won't be a minute.
Oh,
Yeah. The corruption in our motherland is disgusting, shocking, and too many
It's getting
folk.
worse, though, isn't it? It's getting worse,
Yeah,
though. That's the
nobody seems to
point.
bother. You know, we're talking about Black
Covered
Lives
up.
Matter. We see them out in the streets, billions on Black Lives Matters. We see football players, we see everybody doing in one, the one knee. Ooh. But what about all these children? Every day, even just now as we're talking just now here, there's children, and I'm not just children in the UK being abused right now. There's some poor kid being abused. Why the
You
hell
hear-
are they not doing?
On Facebook, every day you hear a child missing. Every day you read it up on Facebook, a child is missing.
Yeah, all you need is go on Facebook for one, and every day, and just look at all these hunter groups catching all these buggers.
yeah.
The abuse is so.
They're brave. They're very brave. They are. I do admire those hunter groups. They're very
Yeah,
brave.
as I was talking about earlier, they've started up this new site for kids. It's targeted, I think it's between the ages 6 and 12, it's aimed at. And it's called Frog. And when the child signs up for that, it's got to put in its age and its phone number. So right away, the pedos know that child's age, and this is for its target at getting. You know, Lord's made it a lovely, lovely site. It's like Facebook. I mean, I was sent a thing there the other night and never heard it, and it was about this site.
I think I can't get a drink. Of my own drink.
Hey,
A site called
Can't drink of my own.
I couldn't find it.
Right? It's a site called Pornhub. It was one of the girls who's involved with us a lot, and she had put up about this Pornhub. So I went on it, and you went, Jesus Christ, do you want to see this? The blue movies. Any category you want, you can go on this thing. That's one shot down. That is one shot down. But yet they're allowing this. You know, they're allowing
Sorry he left so quick, but his battery died.
You know?
Oh,
But the thing is, if we speak out about child abuse, we're jailed.
Yeah.
Things happen to you know.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that's ended up dead through speaking out. And that's no kidding on. I know a lot of people that's been locked away, Melanie Shaw. The list is endless. There've all
Carol
been something. Carol, I know Carol well. And things like that. I mean, even Carol Wood one day, it was one of the guys I was involved with, Sandy Peacher, and he went to Merritt. And they were driving down the road, and Carol was telling us, when we come down here, this car will come out, there'll be two men in it, we'll get further down the roundabout, that'll go away in this white Carol. And she gave the registrations a lot, and it was spot on. That woman was being stalked. People were saying that Carol was off her head, she was an idiot, she was off her head, and blah, blah, blah. Look at the true facts. We seen it. No, we know our work is true.
Dude,
That's
what they do, Sandy. You know, they say, oh, they're off their heads, they don't know what they're talking about. So people just try to discredit the victims, but the perpetrators, they stand there and say, no, that he didn't do that. You know, like Cliff Richard. Yeah, he's as fucking guilty as hell. I don't care what any judge says.
Yeah, do you know what?
Fucking hell.
I think it was. Have you heard of Kathy Fox blog?
No.
Well,
No.
Is that true?
Kathy Fox blog. He's on Twitter, and I mean, obviously it's a man, but he told us when we met him that Cliff Richard was involved.
Yeah.
Said, and there's others that you would never believe are involved in it. And there's a bloke from Beechholme, James Reeves. He's in his 70s now. He's on Twitter, and he's named every one of them. Jana, Heath, every one of them.
Yeah.
He's named. You know, but so like for going for justice, Shirley Oakes got justice. The other groups got justice, but they won't give Beechholme justice. And yet the people that were abusing us were going to Shirley Oakes and abusing them, and they were coming to us and abusing us.
Yeah.
But we're not allowed to fight for justice. I mean, to be honest, I don't care anymore if I get justice, but that won't stop me fighting for the children of today and tomorrow.
No, well, me, I feel the same as well. I
Yeah.
don't care. I don't care about compensation. I don't know money. They can stick up their asses for all I care. I just want justice for children today and save children today.
Well, as with Quarriers Warriors, our first battle, we wanted Quarriers Orphan Homes in Bridgeware, Scotland, to admit they knew children were getting abused. We knew that was going to be hard. Plus, we wanted an apology. We started that in 2013, and that took us to 2017. At the outset of the Scottish Child Abuse Inquiry, and Quarriers admitted they knew children were getting abused in the past, and they gave an apology. Okay, it was good at the time. I'm forced to admit that. But Quarriers will not give us a written apology. And I've contacted them, Jane's contacted them, we've all done it, all the Warriors. Give us a written apology. And we're all refused. No, they'll not do that. So this is what we're fighting for, a written apology. Now, this is where it comes in again, where this Scottish government's £80,000. If we sign their waiver, take £80,000, never speak it to again, no matter what happens, is we don't speak.
Yes, to keep you quiet, shut you up.
We get that £80,000. We get that. Plus a sort of wee bonus. It's Quarriers Orphan Homes and all other orphanages where children were abused, they will receive a written apology. Why will they not give us it now? Why do they want us to sign this? Shut us up, and we'll give you an apology, a written apology. No, that's blackmail again.
Yeah.
They will give us it, provided we sign a waiver saying we'll never take them to court again.
No, why should you?
Never. Why should we?
No, why should you?
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
say guilty.
Tonight when they done to Jane,
Yeah.
I mean, they destroyed her life, right through her life, and still yet £80,000. No, I don't think so. I've told Jane to go in for millions.
Shut me up.
Millions. I don't want her bloody money. I want it for Jane, for the life she's led. I really will fight hard for Jane. I'll fight. There's 174 of us. There's some of them they don't want their, and we know they'll pay the 80,000. They just want it done, dusted away with. But they'll not do that now to the ones that wants it justice gets it. We know that, we understand that. So we've got to stand with them as well, if you see what I mean. But
yeah,
just a wee bit more strength and believe that we got a lot more.
I suppose they're thinking
that, you know,
shut you up, it's going to go away, isn't it? So they think, but it's not going to go away. It will never go away until it's all sorted and those are the perpetrators are hung for it. You know, I don't know whether any of you know the Blair brothers or the Blair twins.
Yeah, we do. We know them.
Absolutely adore both of them. You know, they took their counsel to court and they won.
That's right, they did. They got it.
Yeah, they're still waiting for their compensation, but they're not allowed to talk about who it was that done it to them.
No, that's right. They're not, are they?
Right, because that's bribery. You know, court case, okay, brilliant, and we'll give you compensation, but that's when they feel like giving it to you. But you're not allowed to talk about it, though. You can't mention the people's names.
Yeah,
no.
They'll get sent to prison.
That's right.
That's fucking evil.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the same with myself. If I
that's what happened to Melanie Shaw, wasn't it?
If I mention my abuser's name, I get jail. But my motto is, the older I get, the shorter a life sentence is. And I do now, I speak out, and I do mention his name. Well, I mention his name. I'm Mr. Hill and Quarries Orphan Home, Scottish 24. So come and get it. I'm for it. Take me to jail. Take me to jail, because I've mentioned his name tonight. I'm prepared to go to jail for it.
Yeah. My abusers are dead, so it doesn't matter about me, because mine are dead.
Yeah, but like most of us.
You know, you can't say his name. What about the life we've all lived through? Night after night, and I swear, night after night, I heard that in Quarries, kids screaming, been raped, been beaten, and his wife, she done nothing. Done nothing, and she knew that was happening. You know, so what sort of woman as well would allow her man to abuse a kid?
Well, exactly. Got to be involved in on it.
Yeah, I'm angry because Quarries Orphan Homes was the biggest orphanage in Scotland for child abuse. The Quarries Orphan Homes, there were 40 odd cottages, I think there were 42 if I remember rightly. And Quarries could hold up to 1,600 children at a time. Not all cottages were bad. Some were amazing. It was a luck of the draw where you were put.
Yeah.
But they did 100%. There were a paedophile ring involved in Quarries. No ifs, no buts. I mean, the beast of the bell tower, John Porteous, his brother-in-law Sandy Wilson, they were all involved, abusing children. You know, so there were families involved in Quarries, abusing kids. You know, jail me, I don't give a shit anymore. I've got to that stage in my life. They've destroyed me. They can't destroy me anymore. And now it's my turn to speak out against them. All I want is, I can't go back in time and make things not happen. None of us can do that. But we can go into the future, make sure we stand up, let our voices be heard to protect our children of today from walking in the shoes we once wore as children. That's all I want.
We need more to come out. We need more to come out.
thousands. We need everybody to come out in this one. But people would rather just sit their arse waiting it happening to their kid before it happens. For Christ's sake, it's time for folk to wake up and realise it's going, one day it will happen.
Yep.
The latest figures show one in four children in the UK will be sexually abused before they turn 16 years of age. That's some figure.
Terrible. Terrible.
Today, this is today's thing. When I started this way back in 1986, when I first got involved with all this sort of stuff, I think it was about 1 in 16 at that time. 1 in 16, and now we're down to 1 in 4.
So it's not got
so
any
you can see that
worse.
getting more and more and more and more kids used. Yeah, it's getting worse every year. It's getting worse.
Mm.
And I was Brian Clare one night. I don't know if you know Brian. Brian's a great mate, a good friend. I've known Brian for a long time.
Came on my show a couple of
We were
weeks.
talking about this.
Brian's a good man.
We reckon in about 10 years' time, the abuse of children in the UK will be something that is normal.
Well, that's what they want to do,
It
is
will be a normal.
and lower the age to like 14, isn't it, or 13?
13. It's 13.
Yeah,
We're doing lower the age to 13. I mean, they're only babies, aren't they, really? Just come out in nappies.
Yeah. And the
There was
MP.
one MP, he wanted it six. He wanted it 6 years of age.
What's right with it? That's fucking evil. You're not right in the head if you think that's right. It's wrong. No
We're
matter
going back to the Middle Ages.
And they're trying to teach 3 and 4-year-olds how to masturbate. But if my great-granddaughter will learn that, she ain't learning nothing like that.
Surgeons want, this is what we're talking about. With the Welsh girls the other week, they're doing a terrific guys trying to sort us up here. And it's disgusting what they're teaching the kids down the up here in Scotland. I don't know if it's as bad, but they've got these drag queens. Now, I've got nothing against drag queens, let's get it straight. But they've got these ones coming into schools, and one of their name's Flowjob. And she's coming into the kids. Hi kids, my name's Flowjob, blowjob. Right, Flowjob, blowjob. No, that's wrong right away. Bang. Right? Now this woman comes on with a bra and the knickers and the suspenders and all that, and the kids. No, I don't want my 6-year-old kid to see things like that. I don't want to see it, I know. Right? And they've got one of the things they're showing, and it's in this video, and it's a jar of Nutella and a banana. And this banana is a man's penis, and this is a bottom, this jar of Nutella. Do you know there's only 46% of women has tried anal sex? Now, when you get your penis and you put it in and they dip this into the Nutella, and they're dipping it in and they're doing the actions. Now, when you take your penis out, it'll come out like this, but this can be cleaned off. This is 6-year-old weak kids. They're teaching this to up here in Scotland.
Well,
what's in that kid's mind for that young age?
Yeah.
They're doing this into them and drumming it in, drumming it in, drumming it in. They think it's natural. So by the time they kids go on to be adults, have a family of their own, they're passing this on to their kids. Well, it's only natural. You know, and this thing as well, you're not a boy, you're not a girl. You know, what?
They're not allowing our children to be children.
Well, my granddaughter's 14, and as you know, she's pregnant, right? Well, when she was at primary school, they was taught sex. And they had pictures up of a penis and everything, you know, and they was taught sex in primary school. And she's 14 now, and she's pregnant, of course.
Yeah, well, I come from an agricultural farming background. You know, I've got a load of cousins and that off with farms and stuff. And the butcher meat that we buy, 99.99% of that butcher meat it's all doctored meat. When you're selecting the calves or the young bulls that's going for beef, right? You go, right, that's for beef, that's going for beef, that's going for beef. First thing you do is castrate that. That's the first thing. That gets more meat on it. Then they're injected with a hormone to make them stronger. Now that injection they're giving these cattle, and they'll not tell you this, but it's true. Check it out, you'll see my words are 100% true. Now that injection that they're getting with all these hormones, that's passed through the meat. We're eating that meat. Our kids are eating that meat. Hence why you're getting so many kids nowadays developing quicker than they've ever done before.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
You see,
Yeah, they do, yeah.
you see kids, what, 10, 11, 12, and they've got bodies here like models. You know,
Like
this is why.
Like my granddaughter did, she did.
This is what they want. This is a fucking New World Order trick, and we're going to come under New World Order shortly.
Mm.
Believe me, I can see this happening very soon. Whether this lockdown's part of it, I don't know. But bring on the children quicker, give them bodies. They're better for abusing. Believe me, this is what's happening. I know folk will go, oh, he's talking crap. Research it, please. Research. You'll find my words are true.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
true, what's happening. And this is what they're doing. They want our children to look adulty because it's better to abuse. You know,
Yeah.
It's sick. Absolutely disgusting. Why are we not in that bloody arms? Because we're made to look like idiots when we speak out about this. And folk, I know there'll be folk going, he's talking crap, he's rubbish, he's a lunatic. No, far from it. I spend every day researching stuff and finding out the real truth. Jane will tell you, there are days there, Jane will, do you want to go? She says, we've got to go for a loaf of bread or whatever. Hold on, just to find this wee bit out. That's more important to me than finding out the truth. You know, what the hell is behind all this? Why? How? I'm a great one for doing that. I want to know the reason. This lockdown, what's the reason behind that? I don't know. I can't say. Is it because of the EU? Is it because of the New World Order? Is it because there's so many things you could say, yeah, but I don't know. I can't say, so I wouldn't say. But there's definitely something behind all this lockdown. Definitely. You know, I heard you talking tonight, Sue.
In us, most definitely, without a doubt, there's more going on than what we're what we're told. This
that we know, yeah.
With this
I heard
COVID
you
is
talking, Sue,
fear
there about your daughter getting checked and positive. Now, my adopted daughter, she was taken into hospital a few weeks back here. She was taken in with a brain tumour on the Saturday. And the Sunday they told her on the ward she was in, there were an outbreak of COVID in that ward. Huh? And the Monday morning, my daughter was allowed home. Now, why, if there's an outbreak of COVID, was that ward not put in isolation right immediately? Nobody allowed in, nobody allowed out. But they allowed her out on the Monday to return home. So it's a load of bollocks. The hospital up here, if you get in and see them, you can't get inside, but you can tell a mile away the car parks are empty, where they were usually full. I seen a video there, and I think it was a nurse that was videotaping her leaking it out. And you see her walking around the hospital, and it's all empty. And this is what's happening, but we're led to believe these wards are full. It's the biggest hoax that we've ever, and we're all falling for it. Bloody fools. We're all falling for us.
Well, some of us are, not all of us.
Yeah.
They are. Don't get me wrong, there's something out there, but it's no worse than any other flu. It's sweet grace.
Last Christmas Day, I had to come back early because I weren't well. I came in, I went up on my stair lift, I got to the top, I threw up everywhere. I got to my bed and I was hallucinating. I stayed in my bed till the Sunday and I phoned my granddaughter. I said, I've got to go to the plaza, which is like a walk-in place. I went over there. The doctor immediately put me on oxygen, phoned for an ambulance to take me to the hospital. Went to the hospital. They done some tests. They came back and they gave me a mask to wear. And they came back later and they brought me 2 different lots of antibiotics. So told me to go home. The other test would be there in the morning and they'll ring me, which they did on the Monday morning. And they said to me, you've got a strain of flu and you've got to be isolated for 14 days. When do you get fucking isolated for flu and get put on antibiotics?
You don't.
No, you don't.
Because when you go to the doctor and say, oh, I've got the flu, can you give me antibiotics? The doctor will say to you, we can't give you antibiotics for the flu because it doesn't do anything for it.
Exactly.
It doesn't work, yeah.
And they'd give me 2 different lots of antibiotics.
Wow.
The hallucination. You know, see all this hallucination. You know how you said you had hallucination and sickness. That's too much of the Jamaican cigarettes. You know.
I hadn't even had one.
That's smoking too much weed, Sue.
Yeah, I hadn't even had one. I could have blamed it on that if I had. But no, it's a fucking joke, a complete and utter joke. And I was ill with this cough until April, and now I've got emphysema. You know,
I'll tell you, I get a fluid injection last year. No, I hadn't it for years. And I was, I'll take it. Because I was trying everything, because every time I was taking this flu injection, I was taking really no well. So I kept off it for a few years and I was okay. And I took it last year. And Jane will tell you, for about a couple of weeks, I was really no well. And then I developed this cough. And I can't get rid of the bloody thing. I just cannot get rid of this cough I've got. And when I go, when I could go and see the doctor, they tell me, no, it's nothing to do with injection. It's nothing to do with it. Oh, no, that doesn't do you anything. But I remember when I worked with the electricity board up in Cumbernauld. This was a big training, it was a massive big training centre. It was the biggest in Europe training centre. And it was the South of Scotland Electricity Board at the time, New Scottish Power, that runs it. And they had their own nurse, and she was giving the folk this injection, the flu injection. And that night, I started my head. I thought my head was busting. Oh, I was really no well. And I goes to the ex-wife and goes, right, I'm going to bed, went to bed. And the next thing I know, I was at the front door. No, I took all my clothes off. And I had turned around in the
that
house.
must have been a bloody sight. You just scared the neighbours.
I'd stripped all my clothes off. I'd smacked her in the mouth, and I told her I was effing leaving her. I was trying to get out of the house, and she was trying to get me in. She'd go for one of the neighbours in the stair who grabbed us, got us back up the stair. And I slept for about 3 days, unconscious. This is true. There were young boys who got this injection as well, and it was a YMCA hostel that they lived in when they were serving their apprenticeship with the electricity board at the time. There were guys jumping out the fucking window, breaking legs and stuff. They were all hallucinating, and this was with a flu injection.
I don't have
So
the flu injection.
It was discovered that this flu injection she was dragging into us, there were something that was contaminated with.
It must
So
have been.
we were getting fucking injected with stuff. It was making us do wally. So if they can discover that before they give us it, what the fuck is this new drug that it's not been tested? We don't know if it works, but you're taking it. Now they're training.
It's a risk, isn't it? It's a risk.
And test people. They're doing that now. Jane was researching on that, and the stuff she's come up with is amazing on this. And somewhere down your area, these big barracks, and all these soldiers are all getting trained up to go.
That's right, they are.
Here
Those down at
they're going
Dover,
to come round.
those down at Dover giving the injections. They were.
Yeah, well, it's not injections. This is for testing. They're going to come round. The army's going to come round
Yeah.
testing you.
Our army,
No,
would, yeah, we went that army down Dover doing it.
Well, I'll tell the army
You know,
and me doctor. They
the
can
test,
fuck right off because
Hang on a minute, let's let Jackie speak a minute, just then. Carry on,
if
Jack.
the army knock on my door or the old Bill and say you got to have this injection, I'll tell them both. Fuck off! I ain't having it. You have it. I'll give
Nor
you.
am I.
I'm happy to share. I'm not a greedy person. I'm happy to share. You can fucking have mine because I'm not having.
Yeah,
I've had a flu jab for about 5-6 years, but I ain't had it this year. All
Well,
because I've heard the different things about it. They're putting things in the flu jab now, and I thought, nah, fuck that. And the only reason I was every winter I'd end up with chest infection after chest infection after chest infection, and I got pissed off with having to take antibiotics. I'd be on them for like 10 days. I'd be lucky if I got 2 weeks out off of them, and then I'd be back on them again because I'd got another chest infection. Well, touch wood, I haven't even had a cough so far.
Well, Jackie, I've been lucky, Jackie, because I've had the flu injection for good over 10 years, and not once have I had any infections or colds or anything. And I've had the flu jab this year as well, and I've been all right.
Yeah.
I haven't had it this year. I haven't had it for about 5 years. But I, like you, I was getting chest infections.
Yeah.
Chest infections every winter. But
See,
this
some
year,
some people it doesn't agree with. But I'm one of the lucky ones then, you know what I mean? I haven't had the flu or anything. The last time I had the bad flu was when I was about 16, 17. And I was really, really bad then, you know. And I've had TB and all that.
but
you know.
I've had one chest infection the past week. I've had the first one.
Yeah.
All the years I was having the flu jab, it was fine. I didn't get one chest infection. But this year, as I say, I haven't had it. And touch wood, I haven't had a chest infection yet. I'm not going to say, oh, I haven't got one, you know, and what have you, but I haven't had a chest infection as up until now. But, you know, I keep getting text messages. You're well overdue for your flu jab. Your flu jab is waiting at your doctor's. And I just reply back, bollocks.
That's what I did. But I did get a letter about having the vaccine.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've got one yet. I don't know if I've got one.
I ain't had one. But
no, I've got mine.
I don't know if I've got one because I've been away.
The thing is as well with this COVID thing, okay, take it they are it is out there, it is killing all these people. Now they've discovered there's a new strain stronger than before. If
So they say.
Bad, if it is that bad, why don't they put the whole country in total lockdown? Why are they not doing that? If it's that bad. In other words, they're talking bollocks.
I think we're all fucking as thick as what they are. And the trouble is, a lot of people are as thick as what they fucking are.
Yeah, because they believe everything that they see or on the telly.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
I had a big row with my brother.
People over it that I said, listen, if you're that fucking stupid that you believe this bollocks, then you believe it. But don't tell me about it. Oh, Jack, you should do this. Or Jack, what about getting that? No, I'm not. You want to go and get it? That's fine. You know?
Yeah.
All well, yeah. But I'm not fucking having it. But then there's been other friends who have said, Jack, really? I said, just do your own research. You know, I'll what anybody has to say, but then you do your own research afterwards. And they've come back to me and said, fucking hell, I never knew that. But yeah, I've checked it out, you know, blah, blah. I said, see, you know, that's all you got to do. I said, now I've convinced you that what I'm telling you is not a load of bollocks. I've told you the truth. Now you tell somebody, and then if they believe you, they find it out, they tell somebody. That's the way we're going to start getting it through more, because it's through word of mouth.
Yeah.
And
I
there's
had-
got to go.
I had 3 doctors, and there were a few doctors and nurses from down your area, down south, and they got together and they were telling the truth about this COVID. You know, it's all bollocks. What happened to them? You never hear of them. You know,
Some of them got the sack from their jobs.
Yeah.
But this is what they're doing. You know, they're telling the doctors and the nurses, I know they're doing it up here in Scotland, do not talk about that outside or else they're getting struck off. And they are getting struck off for speaking out about it. So they have been threatened. There's no kidology here. This is true. Any doctor in Scotland, nurse, who speaks out and tells the truth about it, they're struck off. That's them, knackered.
I had a big argument this morning with my oldest brother, and Jean was there. She heard him saying, oh, what a load of bollocks you're talking. You're listening to everyone else. You're doing this. Oh, so if you get ill, you're not going to go hospital, are you? I said, no, fucking ain't.
You're right. No
I'm
chance.
not fuck going to hospital. You know, I said, you know, all my life I've been put down for having an opinion.
Yeah.
And they all think I'm some sort of thicko. Well, I'm not, because I don't want to be a sheep. I'm not following everyone.
No.
You know, I've got my own mind and I will give my fucking opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't like it, don't fucking listen.
No, it's that. You know,
Exactly.
You know?
I say all the time, Sue, if you don't like my opinion, then don't ask me a question.
That's exactly it.
And if you say to me, oh, Jack, do I look nice in this? And I'll tell you, no, you fucking don't. You look like an old trollop.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Oh, you didn't say that.
Tell me how defines me, Jackie.
I do, because you've asked me to tell you what my truthful opinion is. I fucking told you it, and you don't like it. Don't ask me in the future. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 2 of my grandsons that I brought up living here, George and Jack. They're 21 in January and 23. And George, he don't listen to none of the shit from the, you know, the disbelievers. He won't have the injection. Look, I don't know about my other grandson, because he doesn't even know what fucking COVID is. He don't come out his room, so no chance of him fucking catching anything. You know, but it's just getting so ridiculous. All these deaths from fucking COVID. Fuck off. People are dying of cancer every fucking day. Old people are dying every day. They're not all fucking dying of COVID.
No, but the thing is, Sue, when someone dies, it doesn't matter what they die with, a blister in their arse, whatever. At the end of it, it could be cause of death, cancer. And then beside that is suspected COVID. Why are they putting...
They're doing that on all certificates now, aren't they? All death
every death certificate's got it on suspected, which is wrong, because when this count's going on, how many's died this week? They don't see, oh, that's a cancer death, that's a blister in the arse death. Or it says, oh, they're a COVID. And that's how they're getting this false count is fucking falsified.
Yeah, exactly, Sam.
You can't trust the doctors in the hospitals. You can't trust them.
And as you said, Sue, you know, you're not allowed your opinion. All you answer to people is, listen, if you want to listen to your opinion, then you listen to mine. If you're not prepared to listen to my opinion, then you go fuck yourself, because I don't want to listen to yours either.
Oh, I do tell them.
Yeah.
That's what I do tell them.
Your opinion as much as what they are, and if they don't like it, that's their problem, not yours.
That's right.
Yeah.
I was getting sent these letters in from my doctor. I've had 3 heart attacks so far, 2 mini strokes and that. But I was getting these letters sent in, and I had to go to this hospital in the far end of Glasgow, and it was this new drug they were trying out with people who suffered from heart problems. And they were wanting me to try it to see if it was working. And I was getting letter after letter, and I didn't bother. But Jean said, as my witness. And I goes into my doctor, I say, And right, what's all? He goes, well, by the way, he goes, you're wasting my time. I goes, what's that? He goes, I've been sending you letters out here. He goes, to go to Cannisburn Hospital in Glasgow. He goes, they've got a new drug out and they want to test it. He goes, to see if it works. So I goes to him, I goes, well, I'm not being a guinea pig. And he goes, well, how the bloody hell, and he's banging the desk, and this is true, how the hell do you think they can get drugs to work if you'll not take them? That's true.
It's a paedophile. There's enough paedophiles to take on.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Give them to the paedophiles, not the fucking animals. Give them to them.
Yeah, but this doctor, he gets money for every person he sends.
Yeah, exactly.
It's greed again, isn't it? It's greed. Money, money, money,
So
money.
what I mean, money, and this is what our country's built on: money.
Yeah, greed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Quarriers Orphan Homes. Quarriers Orphan Homes was a business. It wasn't a care fucking home. It was
But Bernardo's was the same, wasn't it?
Yep.
Bernardo's was jail. He get jail, Bernardo, because of the Canadian children, the abuse.
That's right. He was the same.
For that. Quarriers should have been the same. They talk about this great woman, Annie McPherson, who received the children. She should have been jailed. There's so many right down the line you could go here. It should all be.
Have a drink.
No.
I've got to get a drink again. I'm really thirsty.
No bother. Get Gina Bailey's.
You've got one.
I've just had one. I've just had one. I've got that.
All off.
Sandy, I've got a chocolate one. It's not nice. Had for a Christmas present.
I noticed that you got these flavoured Baileys now, hazelnut and God knows what else. You're going to have a treat.
Well, I'm only young once, Sandy.
That's you know.
Right. Enjoy it while you're here, I'll say. Most definitely.
You know, I don't care about me bloody age now. You know what I mean? Sod it. You know, as long as I can get around and I've got my head on my shoulders and I'm not going to see now, I'm all right.
Because I done a live
I
one.
try and stay young. I mean, mind young if I can. I don't be one of these old fuddy duddies. Sod that and stick in and look at the four walls in my house. No way, that's not me. I'm out.
Well, I done a live one night with a friend, and it was just coming up with Christmas here, and we were going to George Square, and we were giving out free gifts to the kids and stuff, and we put on a show, sort of thing. And my mate, he was dressed as Santa, and Jane and I, we were elves, and a few others. My mate Ricky,
you drinking?
Somebody had said to him about his age. It was regarding his age, and he went, "Oh, I'm 21." So I got a bit of paper and I put 57 on it, and I held it up, carrying on. He went mental with me. This was the start of a big fallout. I've not spoken to him for a while now. But how dare you do that? How dare you tell people my age? I mean, Ricky, it was a joke. I don't care. Don't you fucking tell any cat. He started going nuts with me. I mean, Christ almighty, does it matter? What the hell's an age? It's only a number. That's the way I look at it. All right.
It's just a number.
I'm 47, and I don't care about my age.
Yeah, right.
You look well 47, Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 21 then.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm 69, and Jane was 69 in Christmas Day there. So, so what? We don't give it.
You're as old as you feel.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel 100.
I feel like I'm 1,000.
No comment.
Well, anyway, guys, I'm going to call off. It was lovely catching up with you all.
Yeah.
And I
And you, Jackie, it's nice to
Yeah.
meet you.
Yeah.
We'll speak again soon. I'll try and come on your show one day.
Yeah,
I'm
my
nervous, but
Friday.
all right then.
You're more than welcome, any of you, to come on and we can have a catch up with that. But I wish you all a happy new year and I look forward to hopefully seeing you all in person soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you, Jackie.
Jackie.
All right.
Good night.
Everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
Jackie. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Night, all. Night, Jackie. Night, Stu. Night, Jean.
Good night.
Good night.
Love you.
Love you.
Jason. I
Don't do
don't know if
nothing I
Jason's
wouldn't
something.
do.
I've got a bad
Oh, I know I'm a
stomach.
good boy.
Yeah,
Pardon?
all right. I've got a bad stomach. I need to
Aye.
go. Bye-bye.
Yes.
Bye.
Love you.
Right. Catch you later.
Bye,
Same
bye-bye.
back. Bye,
Bye.
girls.
Bye.
Bye, Jason. Oh, bless.